shady.
Oh,
I'm
that's not your
actually riding
house?
a bird box.
That's not, that's not your house on the beach?
Yeah, one day.
A fun day. Well, that's good. Well, tell us why you're at the beach today. You know, I know you're on vacation, but you were telling us about your daughter. You were telling me about your daughter earlier.
Yeah, I have three children. My youngest, Abriana, she starts her first day of middle school tomorrow morning. So we just wanted to get her out into the fresh air and just have some fun before she starts the school year. She deserves it. She made the honor roll. We're very proud of her.
Oh well, tell her congratulations, and I know it's a big deal to have your first day of middle school. So that's
Yes.
going to be an exciting time for the whole family. So I'm tell her hello for me and everyone here at the psychic side. So Misty, let's just get down to business then, okay? So I just wanted to kind of let everyone know a little bit about your store and a little bit about you and a little bit about what you do at the Indigo Moons. And so, if you don't mind, I'd like for you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and then tell us a little bit about your business and how you got into the store that you're in. Can you
Okay.
tell us? Okay.
Yes. I'm born and raised in Southern California. Ended up in Houston, Texas. Long story.
Long story.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so I am the youngest of six, and I came from a very spiritual family. My mom's very spiritual. However, my dad was an atheist, and so there was always a cynical side. It made for a very interesting household.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
As for me, I've always been very gifted in the spiritual, seeing things. I would see auras when I was younger, and very connected to the stones around me, gemstones and everything. And so owning a crystal shop is very natural to me. Plus, I love retail. I worked retail my whole life, and it made so much sense to me. And helping people is amazing, especially if spirit. They sit taller.
Okay. There you
So
go.
people, especially when spirit starts to come through, it's a gift. But these days as we've grown, you can find me running around crazy, like my head is on fire sometimes. And so and other days you just see me kind of wandering around, or I'm constantly moving something in the shop. But I do have a gift of connecting with crystals and helping people connect with the crystals that are meant for them as well.
Mhm. Well, to own a store nowadays is not easy, and you made it through the pandemic. How
Yeah,
did that affect your store?
quite interesting actually. That was about a month before we had just got our first brick and mortar. We were barely a month in, and then we had to shut down for 3.5 months.
Mm.
And so I got real busy building the website as quick as possible so that we can at least do online orders when we were allowed to start opening up to do, I forget what they called it, but it was like curbside. And so they could
Curbside. Hmm.
order, right, they could set it outside the door, deliver it to their car. And then eventually we were allowed to open up the shop and have 10 people at a time. And so it was very difficult. At times it was scary. I'm very lucky to have some other shop owners here in Houston that we're all friends with, and we did build a communication base through Facebook Messenger where we would all get together and communicate with each other and give each other tips and pointers and just support each other.
Yeah, it sounds like you've
Very
got a
grateful
group
for
of
that.
you've got a group of stores that kind of are all friends, and
Yes.
that's kind of cool in the metaphysical community
Yeah.
to have people in different locations and saying, "Hey, what's going on over there?"
Yeah, and I really appreciated that being the baby store owner at
Being
the
a
time.
baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, one of the things, and I'm going to get to your event this weekend. I just noticed you have so many unique things that besides crystals in your store, you have a few things like snake eggs, and then you even have dinosaur poop. So, what is that all about? And more than one kind. It's really
Is
interesting.
known as and the one that we have was mined out of Arizona, and so it has a lot of quartz in it and agates and a lot of other minerals that it's turned into. But it's always fun when kids come through and you let them know that we got some, shark teeth and dinosaur poop. We have dinosaur poop too, so.
Well, what do they use the snake eggs for?
We have a very dear friend, and he breeds snakes, and he's
He breeds snakes.
He does, and he educates at local schools and libraries, and the police have actually called him quite a few times to come rescue wild snakes that they find or whatever. And so he just was like, "Hey, you want some snake eggs to sell?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Why not?
Eggs represent fertility, and snakes are transformation and shedding of the old. So there's got to be something you can do with it.
Well, that's good. I just noticed I don't see those things in some of the other stores that I go to, and I just felt it was kind of unique to see that, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it is educational and it is fun to see those so few things that are different. You can't find that at Walmart, and
well, and we also feature a lot of local consigners. So a lot of stuff we have is handmade by local artists. We have over 100 different consigners, as well as Jeremy, my partner, who makes a lot of stuff handmade, and he wire wraps it in the store. The crystals right in front of the customers. They can pick a stone and he'll wire wrap it. He makes all the wood pieces that you see hanging on the wall. So there's a lot of unique creativity in the store. We started out in 2015, and I literally sold my car to start Indigo Moons, and we started out with one plastic table. We chose Spring Branch because that's where we live and our daughter goes to school.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So you just were all in. You just sold your car and said, "I'm going to make this work." Is that right?
Yeah, my son convinced me. I was actually running I had a house cleaning business.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and so my son was like, "Mom, that's not what you want to do." And I have carpal tunnel really bad, so it was difficult for me, and sciatica. So cleaning houses, especially going up and down the stairs, it was very painful for me after a while. And so my son was like, "Mom, you need to stop this, and you need to do what you've been wanting to do. You've been talking about it for like 20 years." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm going to do it." It was my son that put me forward.
So you found your calling.
Yeah, I knew what it was getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over the years, or over the time that you've had the store, you started to grow, and you brought in readers, and then I met you, and you've been kind enough to let me come to your store and bring my my Aura camera and my spirit gallery. But this weekend, you're going to have a special event that you're just kind of starting up, and you're normally closed on Sunday, right?
Yes.
But this is an event on Sunday.
Yes. So our second metaphysical fair and expo here at the shop, and I'm really, really excited about it. So I look forward to doing these.
What makes it unique? You're gonna have vendors. You're gonna have vendors there, or you're just gonna have readers and
everything. So there's gonna be from different types of Reiki, many different kinds of readers, from past life to Akashic records to psychic mediums and like aura photography, tarot, runes, you name it. And then of course vendors who are setting up selling their handmade items. And that one was a huge success, and I'm sure that this one will be as well. And also we will have a local restaurant. It's a vegan Mexican food called Cascabel Vegan, and they will be providing the food. And then next door is a brewery called Cobble and Spoke, and they will have beer, meat, and wine for those who are 21 and over. I think they'll be open around 2 or 2:30, and anyone's welcome, 21 and over, of course, to go purchase. And you can walk around inside the shop with your drink, and the food will be in the backyard. It'll be a lot of fun.
So it's either, well, it's kind of, I guess I've never been to an event like this where you can have some alcoholic beverages. So that's
Yep.
going to be fun. Don't tell them what kind of readings we're going to get.
Yeah. It's fun.
So,
Luckily,
so
nobody gets
how
it, so that's great.
do do what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, luckily, nobody gets inebriated, so that's great.
Yeah, that's right. That's great. So, are you going to have these once or twice a year, or what's your plan?
Um, as many as I can fit in. Right now,
Uh,
this is my second one now, and I'm looking to in October. I'm gonna have hopefully another market. It won't be the same thing. It's gonna be a little more Halloweenish. But in December, I plan to hopefully have another one of these markets and have it be like a Yule theme. So I just plan to just keep doing something and anything.
okay, okay. Well, that's good. Well, yeah,
Mhm.
you got to mix it up a little bit and
But
get some
these
of the.
metaphysical ones, I'm gonna keep having them. They've been a good success. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy
Mhm,
all the people that come out.
mhm. Now, I noticed also that in your store, I wish I had some pictures of your store. You have brooms that hang from the ceiling and a
Yes,
few other
and
things.
Cedar
So,
Creations.
whose creations?
Cedar Creek. It's a husband and wife, and he actually goes out and finds all the wood, and the wife gets the broom bristles, and she ties them on, and then we sell them. They're great.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. I saw that.
Mhm.
So, so it's like I say, you have a very unique store, and it's very, it's very well laid out, and you have such good merchandise too, which I always appreciate when I go and visit a store. And it just seems like the people there are kind of bonded to you. They just seem to like to stay around, and they like the employees that you have, and you've created kind of a family atmosphere
Yes,
there, and it's nice. So
we're
so
all in
I'm
the
ex-
community. We love to support the community, and we're open to a lot of people.
yeah. And the last time I was there, some of the other stores were had some of their people there, and
Yeah,
they weren't price shopping. They were just socializing.
sorry.
So
I know. I'm sitting in the sand. I know you guys don't know that, but I'm sitting in the sand.
you're sitting in the sand, okay?
I'm sitting in the sand.
It's not, as long as it's not quicksand, you're okay. And there are no hurricanes in
No,
Galveston, at least not
no,
right
it's
now.
okay. I got
So not
birds all me. They're checking me out.
they're checking you out. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, like I say, we're really happy that you joined us today, and you're mentioning Jeremy and some of the stuff that he does, and he's quite the artist.
yeah,
Stuff that he does. He mainly does a lot of woodwork. He has several wall, I guess, incarnations. They're not paintings, but it's almost like they're done with a 3D printer, but
yeah,
they're not. It,
yeah.
it's all by hand, and so truly an artist. But he does the wrapping of crystals, and what else does he do besides the artwork?
Work. And the metal work. If he's well, he's
You
here, but he doesn't have a shirt on. So we're you can check out our website. It's www.indigomoons.net.
So I don't know. I just feel psychically that you may be moving. I don't know why I'm saying that,
Yeah, you're
but
not psychic to tell me that.
yeah, I just feel like there's something about you moving and needing kind of a different kind of space. Not there's nothing wrong with the space you have, but it is very retail, and you don't have the space to do classes and things like that. But you're moving in that direction, and I don't know. I just feel like you have kind of a leadership um, way of doing things. But I know some of the other stores in Houston, and they're great. They're all great.
Yeah.
But you just are open minded and willing to try new things all the time, and I think that's great. So um, so it just seems to me that you have like I say, a lot to offer. What's your favorite crystal? Let me ask you that.
Oh my goodness. So many people ask me this question and it's so difficult to answer. It's like someone asking you, who's your favorite child? And I go in and out of crystals as I grow and advance or I transform. I may become attracted to one over the other because it's working with me. You will find me with moonstone, rainbow moonstone a lot. And for some reason lately, I have been surrounding myself in a lot of amethyst. So I've been wearing this amethyst bracelet, a lot.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy happened to give me a selenite wand
Oh,
the
yeah.
other, and uh, and it was interesting because I was at the East Texas Psychic Fair last weekend, and a lady just happened to walk up to me, a psychic lady, and started giving me a reading, and she says, "Do you have a wand?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, I do have a wand." And she said, "The wand thinks you're neglecting it." so,
Oh,
so I
John.
said, "Oh my gosh, I gotta tell Misty this. I'm neglecting the wand." So I'm not sure how to use it, but I'm gonna find it. I don't know what I do with it. I probably put it away with some of my other crystals, but I'm gonna do more with the wand. So
You know,
that's gonna be fun.
to do the aura readings, just place it near your aura camera. How about that?
I'll do that. I'll place it near the aura camera.
And then it'll
I,
be happy.
it'll be happy. That way
It'll be
we
happy.
get all of the energy there. Now,
Yes.
Misty, do you do readings at the store?
It has been seen here and there that I might pop a reading for somebody if we don't have a reader. I have to be in the right mood to do it. As long as I'm not running around the shop insane trying to get everything done, I might stop and do a reading.
Okay, okay.
And
Now,
that's just,
also, you have a couple of cats in the
yeah.
store, and you're making them famous on TikTok.
Oh,
So
God.
you have a lot of really good TikTok. So I want to plug your TikTok channel, and it's just Indigo Moons, and it's fascinating because you told me you have one of your clients or customers come in to do your TikToks, and they're just fascinating. They highlight lots of different crystals and the jewelry that you have, and there's often the cats fighting. So
We have people that have well, we got rid of the couch. We had that couch for a while. We got rid of it, but people would come in and sit on the couch with the cats and just sit and pet them for 30 minutes and leave. So the cats have definitely become quite the staple with quite a few of the customers. I believe that they've become like a little healing counselor to some people. You'll also catch some of the shoppers walking around the shop with holding the cats and swearing up and down that the cats help them take out all their stuff.
oh
you know,
really?
it's
so
onyx and
animals are very healing anyway, but these
yes.
two particular cats, they just feel they act like they're right at home. So you never take them home, you just leave them always in the
Yeah,
store.
now.
Oh, they're at home. Okay.
Yeah,
So you bring them to the store during the day?
yeah, Onyx does not like to be left at the store. Juniper has an I don't care attitude, but Onyx is like, no, I need my humans. Mom, don't you dare leave me. And Onyx, he also loves food. You're welcome to just walk around or sit down. So the major thing is to just come and feel welcome. We always have some type of class, event, or ceremony. Sometimes they're free, sometimes, donation based. Tonight we have the LGBTQIA plus meetup at 7:30. We have Starseed meetups every month. So there's a lot of things that are rolling in there.
Mhm. You mentioned Shannon. I
Yeah.
may ask him to be a guest on the program, but
Yes.
he has an interesting story. Did he move to Houston from Austin or what? Because he,
Oh,
you don't know. But
yeah, I know.
I used to know him to live in Austin at least for a while, and he has just such an interesting story. I won't tell everybody about it, but he was in the military for quite a while, wasn't he?
Mhm.
So a special forces guy.
Yeah.
Well, Missy, we only have a few more minutes left on the program. So I want to go ahead and once again thank you for being a part of our show. And now you're part of the A1R Psychic Radio family network, or network family. And we want you to come back. But I wanted to give you this so that maybe you, if you don't mind sharing it, and maybe we can bring in some more people this Sunday. So it's Sunday, August 20th at Indigo Moon. Do you want to tell people your address?
Yeah, it's 1900 Blaylock, Suite J. Zip code is 77080. It's the cross streets of Blaylock and Campbell. The event will be from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. There will be food, drinks for 21 and over. We have free. It's free event. You can come check it out, and there's so much to do and so many people to meet and things to see. It's gonna be fun. Lots of good vibes.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you have fun over there on the Galveston beach. So, when does your daughter start school?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So you got to drive. You got a little bit of a drive to get home. You didn't bring the cats, did you?
No, they're at home with Jeremy's mom.
With Jeremy's mom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you once again. And before we sign off today, I want to make sure that I thank our sponsors, Miracles of Joy, for sticking with us this entire year, pretty much the entire year. And Miracles of Joy is another metaphysical store in Louisville, Texas. And they have an online shop, and we support them as well as we do Indigo Moons and other fine metaphysical stores that support me. So that's very nice. So and if you could go to Miracles of Joy's website and use promo code 0223, you'll get a big discount when you buy online. So next week, we're going to have another program with probably getting a little back to some of our regular programming next week before we bring in some more guests. But I want to introduce you to some of the practitioners in Texas and some of the great people that I work with. So with that, I want to thank you once again for coming in and being with us on our program. And be sure to join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. I'm your host, John Capello, and we hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Energy Reader Mariana with Mariana. Live from SoulCircle.vip.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Energy Reader Mariana
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is another week of AR1 Radio and Moonstruck TV. So I wanted to talk this week. I'm not going to take a caller today because unfortunately I had the best of intentions to have this show for quite some time, but as we know, life gets in the way. I think we all know that, which is why we call psychics and mediums and animal communicators to get a feel for what's happening, what's going on, what's coming up. Unfortunately, I will have to give this up much sooner than I intended to, but possibly will probably come back in the future. So I just wanted to take tonight to take a few minutes to talk about who I am, what my business is, and what I teach, especially because I'm definitely looking to get some really practical teaching out there into the universe. Excuse me. All right. So just as a reminder, my name is Mariana. You can find me at www.soul.vip, like very important people or very important pets. As opposed to .com, it's .vip. That is an actual end to a website address. Okay. So I made some notes. So please do find me at my website. Also, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Just Google Energy Reader Mariana in any of those, and you should be able to find me. Those links are also on my website at the bottom of the page. Every other Friday, starting this Friday, I will be going live and doing readings, paid readings, from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time on YouTube. You can find me at Energy Reader Mariana. Okay. I have a tarot workshop coming up August 20th at 10 a.m. We're going to go over tarot, beginner to intermediate. This is a 4-hour workshop. And I will also be talking about pendulums, and there will be a cheat sheet available for you that covers the entire 78 cards of the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. All right. So next week, Tara Winter will be your guest host because unfortunately I have to go to the dentist, which I despise. Tara Winter is from Illinois, Decatur, Illinois. Yeah, so Illinois. She is into astrology, mediumship, and at one point took a class from me. Now, she was already a heavy hitter when she took the class. I think she was just being nice. But she is an amazing medium. She is an amazing astrology person, and she will be here next week in lieu of me. So please do tune in. I'll still be here for a little while. You know, they want you to give notice here. Okay. Energy Reader course. So what is different about the Energy Reader course? The Energy Reader course is 4 modalities within one course. You start off with the psychic, then you move into the evidential mediumship, then you move into the evidential animal communication, and then you move into the evidential nonverbal communication. I'm extremely heavy on evidence and validation. Excuse me. My apologies. I also have allergies. So the Energy Reader course is a course that I wish I had been able to find when I was first starting out. Again, I also do get some heavy hitters in there who will have already been reading either psychic or mediumship, and they want kind of be a little more well-rounded, a little more mentorship, a little business ideas, tips and tricks, whatever you like to call that. The Energy Reader course is starting in September. I do one in the fall and I do one in the spring. I only do 2 a year, and there are a limited number of students allowed. Because I do it live via Zoom, I may move into a different type. It might move into Vimeo, or Zoom changed their rules and they're becoming very heavy on AI. And I do not want my customers, people, friends, students to kind of be used in that way through the AI of Zoom. So I'm going to move into something other than Zoom. But regardless, it's somehow online. All right. What else makes the Energy Reader course different? You will be reading passed over dead people, passed over loved ones, and or psychically, and or animal communication on your first circle. So you have an instruction night, and then you have a circle night. And you will literally be reading on your first circle. I can almost guarantee it. Nothing is ever 100%. However, every student thus far that I have had has gotten some sort of viable, evidential, validating evidence. All right, which brings me to the evidence. There's a lot of information out there, and sometimes it's very difficult to know what to believe. I am an evidential medium and an evidential animal communicator. So what does that mean? It means that I go in to your passed over loved one or your passed over pet or your live pet, and I give you certain pieces of evidence to know that I'm actually talking to who I say I'm talking to. And then we circle around to your questions, and then I go in and ask those questions. Now, a lot of you are already doing telepathy. A lot of you are already talking to your animals, and frankly, your passed over loved ones as well. And so I want you to give yourselves credit and not think you're crazy when someone pops into your head and you're like, well, did I just make that up? Is that my imagination? Or is this person really trying to have a conversation with me? In my experience, they are really trying to have a conversation with you. Now, they don't narrate the conversation in Samuel Jackson's voice, but it's your voice, right? Occasionally it will be their voice, but my experience has been 90% of the time it's my voice giving me their information. All right, I do have an animal communication standalone class. I started the first one in July, and I will be doing another one probably right after the Energy Reader course so that I will stagger those. So that one started in July. I will very likely do the next one about January, and I will have 2 of those a year as well. Also a limited number of students. I think we have about 12 in this class, which is really a wonderful size for a Zoom personalized education experience. All right. Again, you will talk to animals and passed over loved ones literally during your first circle with me. And how much time do I have left, sir? 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my cards out and just do a little bit of a collective reading because I said no caller. And then, of course, I talk very quickly. So you get an enormous amount of information when I do give a class via Zoom. So, for example, the tarot workshop, again, August 20th, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 4 hours. You get a cheat sheet. We will do sample readings as well. And there's so much information. It will be also recorded. It will be uploaded to YouTube with an unlisted link. And you will have access to that unlisted link. It won't be forever. I'm not set up for that forever video thing yet, but it will be for quite some time. All right, collectively, we have the 8 of Cups. So I do feel, and this kind of vibes, honestly, with current events and just kind of the way, unfortunately, you know, Maui burning down. So we do have a lot of grief out there right now. The 8 of Cups is very much a grief card. It is very much an in your head card as far as emotions. We then go on to the 6 of Swords, the Star, and then the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Honestly, 6 of Swords is very much about leaving certain ideas behind, cleaning your mind out of the baggage that consistently loops. Swords are mental, 6 of Swords, 6s are creative. The 6 of Swords is about literally and figuratively leaving things behind, leaving figuratively and I can't think of my words. We then get the Star. So a lot of us tend to fill other people's cups, and we have this anxiety up here, and we consistently hold on to this anxiety for one reason or another, and we need to really go ahead and cut the ties to that anxiety and let it go. I know a few of you out there think I'm probably talking exactly to you, and I am. If it resonates with you, it's for you. The Star is very much a fix other people's problem person. Meanwhile, her own cups don't get full. Her own problems don't get fixed. This resonates, I know, for probably 98% of the women and a lot of the men. Honestly, there's a lot of giving men out there who are also empaths, who also try to take care of others. There is no gender line in the sand for people who want to help and fix other people. What happens is that we tend to ignore our own needs. These stars indicate anxiety for me, and when I cover them up, it means you need to go ahead and let the anxiety go so that you can start filling your own cup. The 3 of Cups is very much about your support system, since this is just a general read. Again, if you're learning tarot, you already know tarot. Very often, different cards will mean different things depending on what you're reading for. So if we're having a love conversation, you and I, and we're co-creating in a tarot atmosphere, this is going to mean something different than it means if it's just in a collective reading. It's going to mean something different in a financial reading. It's going to mean something different in a forensic mediumship reading, okay? The 3 of Cups, though, for everyone out there, is about really kind of starting to get back to your soul circle, if you will. Nice little plug there for my website. It's about getting back to the friends that help you out, the friends who match your energy. So a lot of people, unfortunately, we have friends that do not match our energy, and we tend to extend ourselves, especially star people. We extend. So I really caution you to look at your circle and really determine who is matching your energy and who isn't. And if they aren't, it's kind of time to have a little come to Jesus meeting or to re-examine that relationship. We'll end with the shadow card is the Ace of Pentacles. Basically, this is a wonderful, wonderful card about new starts, about money coming in. It's very much aces or yeses as well. So let's say you had a question in your mind. Literally, the answer is a yes. All right, 30 seconds to let you know about my tarot workshop, which is August 20th, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, on Zoom and or something similar, please email me at soulcircle.vip. There are ways to email me or chat with me on my website. You can also get in touch with me via Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, or even through Moonstruck. So thank you for being here.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Medicine for Your Spirit
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, beautiful, beautiful souls. This is Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. We are right in it right now with this beautiful month of August. So I just want to set you up with a bit of info. I've decided today, instead of taking a call, I'm going to do a collective 4-element read for this new moon. So this particular month of August, you're all probably aware of it, but this is what I keep seeing, is the start of this month we had a full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is an air sign, but it's a water carrier. And at the end of this month, we have a full moon in Pisces, which is another water sign. And this month of Leo is very fiery. It's all about our inner sun, it's our direction, it's our solar plexus, it's fiery. So I keep getting this message, and I've been getting it all this month, that it's like the fire is boiling the water, and the water represents our emotions. It's boiling them, and all our waters are being boiled. And what's happening is it's creating this steam, and the steam is doing this really big, deep clean within all of us. It's like getting into the cracks and the crevices of where we've pushed and crushed and really squashed, basically, old emotional stuff, old things that we don't want to deal with. And it's like the steam cleaning that's going on right now for everyone is loosening things up, and it's coming up to the surface. And it was very interesting because, well, we've had this big fire in Maui, bless those people there, and people were jumping into the ocean. We've had 4 people, I think, off Bali who are lost at sea, and they were found. It's like watery events, and I think we've got a few more coming. But I was talking to a friend recently, and she said, "Oh my God, Rails, what's going on?" She said, "I can't stop crying. I'm so emotional." And I explained to her, sort of what the energy of this month is, what it's doing to us energetically and the healing it's offering. And she said, oh my God, she said, she lives with her parents-in-law. She said, my mother-in-law flooded my garden the other day. And a colleague she works with, their hot water system blew up and flooded a part of their apartment. And she went, oh my God, now I understand. It's stuff coming to the surface. So why I decided to do this is because I got told in my everyday life on Monday in the morning, when I do my meditation, I had to offer 4 card readings on the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, to help support people with all this cuckoo that's going on. And I thought, okay, I'll do 15. 15's enough. That's plenty of time. I don't want to let it consume my life. And I got inundated. I got smashed with requests. So I sat down and I spoke again to the divine director who told me, you need to offer this. And I heard these words and they were so clear. And all they were was, you were asked to do 4 card readings. That's it. And I realized our human self gets in the way so often and blocks the flow of what's trying to come through us. So I surrendered. I went, all right, however many come, I'll do this. I got smashed. I can tell you every day until today, I have been back to back with 4 card readings for people. So all about this new moon and things to help them. It was quite funny. So, and I really understood in that time how in that flow, when I surrendered and just let it be, the gifts and the epiphanies and the awarenesses that were meant for me came through. And that whole thing around blocking myself, oh, that's enough, that's enough. It's a human thing, that's enough, where really I'm in service. So that's why I decided today I'll offer a collective 4-card read for this new moon energy, because we are at a critical time. So here we go. This is for the collective, for all the beautiful people tuning into Moonstruck and the Air Psychic Radio. This is our new moon message, thoughts, understandings, whatever it is. So the earth element is where we're at collectively. The water element is what we need to release collectively, emotionally maybe, or not. The fire element is an action we could all take. And the air element is the expansion, what we're moving into or what we could call towards us. So the first one here is self-esteem. Oh my God, you have no idea. 95% of these readings I've done have had this, self-esteem. And this is about our sense of value. Solar plexus, Leo energy, clearing, purging. So this is about stopping letting others around us define who we are. This is about increasing our own level of self-value. Self-value starts with this. Today, I value myself and all that I am. So we stop worrying about what others think, what they feel, and what they expect of us, and we start to grow ourselves. That's the first one. That's your earth. We're all working with this new level of value. The emotion, that the watery one, is truth. Standing in our own truth, releasing anything that is not your truth anymore. Somebody else's truth is not your truth. So we start to reflect on what's running us at the moment, and then whatever is not true for us, we have to start letting it go. That's the release of the water. The fire is miracles. Oh my God, I love this. Wayne Dyer said it a long time ago. I think he wrote a book on it. Miracles are just a change in perception. So wondrous things start flowing to us and from us and through us when we start shifting our perceptions. So the fire, the action energy for this month, or for this new moon time anyway, is to start looking at what perceptions we need to shift, what perceptions are holding us in place. Example, I'm only going to do 15 of these things because that's enough. That was my perception. And when I surrendered, miracles came, absolute miracles. And the support for others was profound. The feedback that's come through has been incredible. So, pardon me, start looking at what needs to shift in your life, what perceptions. That's the fire. Bring awareness to it, move it, open up into a higher perception, let miracles start flowing. The outcome, the air, the expansiveness is, look at this. Even though the word says protection, I really don't like the word protection because it implies that there is something more powerful than me in the world. But this really, the message of this is standing in our own light. As we go forward in the rest of this moon time, or this month of August, we're really being asked to stand in our own light. Standing in our own light is our protection. It is our force field. So a beautiful way of doing it is every morning when you wake up, you stand up somewhere, you look outside, you take a breath in, and you say, today I stand in my light. And you take another couple of breaths and then just go on about your day. So this is for the collective. We're looking at where our self-esteem at the moment, and we have to upgrade that. We've got to release anything that's not our truth, bit by bit. That's the emotion, that's the water. The fire is changing our perceptions. This is active to allow miracles to come in. And the last one is standing in our own light. This is the expansion. When we start to stand in our own light, we have a stronger, clearer communication with consciousness, and we start to hear the things coming through. So that's the collective new moon read. I hope that is helpful, beneficial. There could be a pearl of wisdom in there for you. It could be just a really good story, or it just might be a bit of entertainment. But this is where we're at, okay? So I just want to come back to the self-esteem one, because as I said, 95% of the 4-card readings I did, and there was over 70 of them, this came up. Self-esteem. We are all going through a massive shift in our true nature. So this is really asking us to address how we respect ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we speak to ourselves, how we allow others to treat us and speak to us. If we play small, if we shut down in order to be safe or to please others, that's not working on our true sense of self. Now, I have had these beautiful moments in my journey when I sit with consciousness, and sometimes the information I get is quite profound, and consciousness has shown me how it sees each of us. And it doesn't see us as these I am enough beings. It sees us as these expansive beings of light, these glorious beings of light. This is what we're trying to remember. And this is what helps us when we have really healthy self-worth, self-esteem, self-value. We start to operate from that level, and we start to become a little bit more unaffected by what other people's perceptions or thoughts or expectations of us are. So because this has come up for so many, I think it's something for the collective to focus on. And one of my big understandings is whatever we do for ourselves, we do for the collective. So when we're working on ourselves, we are adding that into the collective, which is something for others to tap into. And often when we're clearing, which is what a lot of us going through in this month with this steam cleaning, as we're cleaning and emotions and things are coming up, what we need to remember is we are clearing it for the collective as well. So it's a beautiful responsibility. It's a beautiful honor to be in this space of knowing ourselves, because we are actually adding that to the collective. When everyone's ready to tap in, there's something there for them that is being done for them. So if you understand this, whatever you're doing for yourself, you're doing for the collective. It is such a gift to be able to have the presence to do this. And the offering that comes from us supports so many others, even if they don't know it yet. So standing in our light, which is what we're all trying to move more towards, every time we choose to stand in our light, that effect, that ripple effect into the collective is offering so much light for others and so much hope and so much inspiration. So because I'm on a different time frame to you guys, if anyone there is interested, send me an email. I'm only going to do it for the next 24 hours. Raylene Byrne, admin@rayleneburn.com. And I will do a 10-minute 4-card element reading for you for this new moon. It does cost $20. So if you're interested, let me know and I can give you my bank details. It's about 12 minutes of all about you and those elements and how they affect you. So please come and visit me on my website at rayleneburn.com. See what juicy little things are there for you. There's lots of free stuff there. And remember, every day you are the medicine for your spirit. You have the answers. You have the wisdom. We've just got to learn how to tap in and find it. Thank you so much for letting me share. Blessings. Have a wonderful next week. And I'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye from me. Medicine for your spirit.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyonsBrilliance.wixsite.com/Perry Lyons.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or
one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is New York City Celebrity Psychic
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Perry Lyons, and this is A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck Psychic TV. And welcome to Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. I'm very happy to see you. I can see you with my heart. And let me just adjust my kimono here. So, guys, as you probably just heard, my fabulous producer and voiceover guy, Dave Solomon, just read out all of the numbers that you can call in from wherever you are in the world, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, all of the United Kingdom, America. I'm sure there's some places I'm missing. Papua New Guinea. All right, maybe not there, but why not? So call in and I will answer your deepest, darkest, most intimate questions with our trademark accuracy, love, and more accuracy, which pretty much, that's what we care about here. So I'm Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. And you're you, which is a very good thing to be. You are my cherished ducklings. And what are we going to talk about today as we're starting off? I'm going to do the psychic tarot weather in a minute, which is going to foretell the sort of psychic weather for the week. There's a huge sort of super full moon just kind of ending tonight. It's in Aquarius. So since Aquarius is kind of a forward-looking, freedom-loving sign, if you find yourself, I don't know, randomly starting a small, tasteful religion or acting in ways that are more free than you're used to, it's the moon. I'm not sure that will hold up in court, but it's worth a try. So, let's see, what else? We were earlier last week, which is earlier because this week is this week and last week was last week. I'm stone cold sober too. It's kind of a pity. We were talking about psychics in history. We talked about the Fox sisters who founded spiritualism. We talked about the Oracle of Delphi, who advised kings and queens and empresses, and I used to do her readings. By her, I mean, there were about 20 of them in a row because it was an inherited position. Either that or you auditioned. Maybe it's sort of like, well, I'm trying to think how you would audition for that. Anyway, the Oracle of Delphi was a very famous oracle of ancient times who was consulted by kings and queens and famous generals, and she would issue her proclamations while suspended in a hammock over a fissure in a crack in the earth, out of which leaked naturally created sort of, how can I put this, hallucinogenic and psychogenic gases. She also drank a lot, and she had a, and maybe she didn't, that's what history says. I don't want to slander her. Kimono, check, hold on, there we go. Woo. All right. She also had a little charcoal brazier filled with hallucinogenic and psychotropic, that's our word for the week, psychotropic herbs. So the fact that she could say anything, frankly, was kind of impressive. And this week, just going to touch briefly on the role of intuition in things like science and history, which is going to be more interesting than it sounds, because that's how the bones of King Richard III, who lived in the 14th century, I guess, which is the 1300s, were found in about 15 years ago in a supermarket parking lot. No, nobody had thrown them out of the window. There was a group of archaeologists who knew that he was buried around there somewhere, but by somewhere, I mean like a half-mile radius. And, that's a lot of places to start digging randomly. But one of the archaeologists had this sudden intuitive, we'll say sort of psychic, air quotes, flash. And she said, over there. She pointed to this sort of, they were in the parking lot at Tesco, which is an English, this was in England, an English supermarket. And they started digging, and there he was. I guess turned out to be Richard III, famous hunchback king. We're not sure if he, that sounds a little politically incorrect. So, but that's what he was known as in his time. There are also a lot of examples from science history about how, for instance, various great scientists came up with huge intuitive flashes, but we'll get onto that next week. This week, I'm briefly going to tell a ghost story, do the psychic weather, and you guys are going to call in, which you're already doing, which I love you for. Thank you for doing that. Okay. So briefly, I'm just thinking about it because today is the anniversary of when this took place. It was August. I grew up in an 1830 sort of converted farmhouse in Valley Cottage, New York. It's now a shrine. No, I'm kidding. But feel free to make a pilgrimage or just send me money. So I was 13 or 14, 13, and this was back in the days when usually houses just had one or two really efficient air conditioners, not like now. And I was sleeping in the top floor in the attic room. It had the best air conditioner, not in my room. I never liked going into that room as a kid because it always had this really kind of, how can I put this? Kind of, well, creepy. It had a creepy vibe. My older brothers slept up there. They were all off at college. So I was sleeping in this room, which I didn't usually do. And I woke up at about 3 a.m, don't know why, and standing next to my bed was a woman. She was about 5'1". I knew she wasn't my mom because my mom had blonde hair and was tall, and this woman had very straight, dark black hair parted in the middle. Also, she was wearing sort of an 1845 dress, like you see in sort of old movies about pre-Civil War times. Went all the way to the ground. It was black and white. And also, my mom's not see-through, and this woman was. And she just stood there for about 3 minutes, right next to my bed. I wasn't scared at the moment. That's the thing about seeing a ghost. I don't know about you, but if you've ever seen a ghost, you'll know that you're usually not scared when it's happening. Afterwards is when you freak out a little. That's okay. So she stood next to my bed, and her energy was very kind of like, how can I put it? Her energy was kind of like, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something really important. And I sort of went, what? She said, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something really important. She had really sort of sad, needy, crazy energy, kind of like party I was at about a few years ago, when very crowded party in New York City, and I stopped to ask some young lady the directions to the ladies' room. She started desperately telling me about her breakup. Kind of the same energy, except she wasn't see-through either, but this one was. So she just stood there and stared at me for 4 minutes and then disappeared from the ground up, like that. So I got up, looked around, there's nobody in the room, and I went downstairs to go get some milk and cookies, because when you're 13, milk and cookies are very comforting. Actually, very comforting at any age. And my mother was up. My mother was a very serious kind of, she was an Ivy League history professor, very serious intellectual. And I said, she'd woken up because she heard me walking around. She said, "Why are you up?" And I said, "Mom, I just saw a ghost." She said, "Oh, darling," which is how she talked. "Oh, darling, no, you didn't." And that was a hallucination created by a storm between the hemispheres of your brain. I'm like, uh-huh. I said, "Mom, it was a ghost." She said, "Well, was she about 5'1" with very long dark hair parted in the middle and sort of a black and white 1845 long dress on?" I said, Why, yes, she was. Why, yes, she was." And she said, "Oh, darling, she doesn't exist. I've walked through her twice in the second floor." So that's one of my true ghost stories. I have a lot of them, unfortunately. Anyway, so please call in. We've got some callers waiting, but I like reading for as many people as possible. So, oh, Catherine, there you are in Denver,
Hello.
Colorado.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm just going to quickly do the psychic weather. So, while I'm doing sort of the tarot psychic weather, I'm going to ask you to think about your question and to breathe in this way. I want you to breathe in deeply and then breathe out slowly, like you're blowing out a birthday candle, like this. It's not very dignified, but it activates the vagus nerve. I'll be about 2 minutes. So, Catherine, I love that name, with a K. So I'm going to ask you to just do that for about 3 minutes while I do the psychic weather. And then you, my darling, are the focus of my very existence. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. Nice to hear your voice. Okay. Oh, so the psychic weather goes like this. There is a card for the first part of the week starting today. Well, that's the next 2.5 days. Then there's a card for the middle of the week. So it's kind of over the weekend. And then there's a card for the end of this week. So like Monday, Tuesday, beginning of Wednesday. Are we cool? All good? Good. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, that's interesting. The week starts out a little rocky, which I'm not surprised. There is a full moon. People get cranky. Why is this blurry? I'm just going to put it here. Ta-da! So this card is, it's funny, I don't, it's like my phone just suddenly got like myopic or something. So this card is the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands can often mean that you're jockeying for position in some way. It can mean that you're kind of maybe having some bumps at work, or you're getting maybe just starting a new job, or in your office or your workplace, you might be having a little bumpy time, because 5 is a number of change. And when you're making sort of a good change, often things around you kind of get a little up in the air. People get a little, how can I put this? People get a little cranky. So you might be fighting for position. The good news is you're going to win. And you might be offered something, because this is another card. I'm going to put it here. It's the Four of Cups. Ta-da! And as you'll see, the Four of Cups is a guy sitting under a tree, and he is being offered a golden cup from a cloud. And he's looking at the 3 golden cups he has in front of him, and he's saying, sure, I'd like another golden cup, but I'm a little, can you come back next week? And so this is about, you might be offered an opportunity this week. I love doing that. where it might seem like the right, it, it's something that you thought you wanted. I'm getting all pixelated here, not me personally, the screen. But you might feel like, you know what, I'm going to wait for the next time this opportunity comes around. My advice is, if you get offered something good this week, just take it. Even if you're too sleepy, or if it's Tuesday, or if you don't feel like it, or you have to put the cat out, just take the opportunity. It's going to work out really well for you. And the last card towards the end of the week, it's a wonderful card. It's a Healing Triumph. Ta-da! Healing Triumph card. As you can see, the guy is riding a horse who's covered with what seems to be a green tablecloth. What this represents is healing. It represents he's riding home from a battle that has not been fought with swords. There's no bloodshed. He's riding home from a battle about honor and glory. And so it means that something, especially something healing that you might have been battling with for a long time, is really going to work out for you. And P.S., you're going to get a lot of sort of mad respect from those around you. So let's see. So the week starts out, if it seems like it's a little rocky at the beginning this week, it's going to be fine. You're just actually making a change for the better. And sometimes when we change for the better, as the writer Henry Miller said, when you exceed your known expectations, do not expect the approval of family or friends. Middle of the week is you're going to be offered something you might not feel like taking it. Take it anyway. It's going to be really good for you. And at the end of the week, you're having a healing triumph with a lot of respect and appreciation. Thank you. Yay. That's our Psychic Weather Week. Catherine, are you still there, my angel?
Hello. I am. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to speak with you.
Oh, I was so happy to hear your voice. Such a nice voice.
Thank you.
And I like
Grateful.
it's true. I like to connect people through their birthdays. So if you could possibly tell me when your birthday is, you don't have to tell me the year.
April 11th.
Oh, we love Aries in this show. Aries women. Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
So, okay, my dear.
Yes.
No, really, I just adore Aries women. But the thing about you guys is,
thank you.
it can be, Mark Twain once said, if you want to be lonely, tell the truth. And if you ask an Aries, especially Aries woman, a question, just make sure that you're ready to hear the truth, because you guys don't mess around. And I love that about you. So how can I help you today?
That's so true.
I know, right?
Thank you. I have a couple of concerns, if you don't mind. I am concerned about my financial world. I've been laid off. Well, I got forced into early retirement for the job that I love. I've attempted another career and got laid off recently, and so I'm curious about my career path, my financial stability, and the love of my life. And lastly, I've been in the hospital for 2 weeks. I'm just getting really frustrated because I'm supposed to be sent to a rehab hospital the last 4 days in a row. I keep getting denied by the insurance. I'm just getting really frustrated sitting here. Like, I just want to go home desperately, and I just don't know what to do. So I'm kind of losing my mind a little bit. And I usually take antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine. They haven't been giving me any since I got admitted about two and a half, almost 3 weeks ago. So mentally, I'm kind of having a little bit of a breakdown as well.
Oh, sweetheart. First of all, it's funny because it almost seems like the tarot weather for this week applies to you. You are going to be out of you're in the hospital, you said, right?
Currently, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But absolutely, I spent so much time in the hospital, and it's no fun. And besides, what is with the food? Like last time I was there, dinner was like, they said it was a hamburger, but I'm like, no, this is fried gorilla heart. I'm sorry, I don't eat fried gorilla heart. The good news is that I feel, yeah, you had a string of really crappy luck, and I'm really sorry. What's interesting is neither of the layoffs had anything to do with you. It had to do with the kind of the company wasn't doing well. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. You do have. Do you do something related to design, graphic arts, or something like that? I mean, problem is I'm seeing you working on a computer, but that's
22 years in aviation. No, I spent
okay.
22 years in aviation, got forced early retirement after I had a stroke. And then I started to work in the financial industry. After 9 months, I was laid off again. Because I'm trying to rebuild myself in so many ways. It's just been kind of flailing.
Like one of my close friends here works in aviation. I understand why I got graphic, because I was seeing a blueprint of a plane, but I thought it was like you were designing that. So, first of all, I'm really sorry. Second, let me pick a couple cards for you here. And I really mean that. Okay. It feels too like there's going to be, I think you might have experienced, you said you had a stroke, which really is just, that's such a terrible thing to go through. And I love how totally non-self-pitying you are. You have such a wonderful way of just kind of being in this situation and you're not complaining, you're just stating the facts. And that's such an unusual and beautiful quality. So,
to be honest with you, in
good for
2017, I was brought back from a flatline twice. I was pronounced dead twice in 2017. And I was told I had 1% chance of living. If I lived, I would never walk, talk, or feed myself again. So I'm blessed to be alive as it is.
Oh my God, you're a living miracle. I've had a near-death experience.
Really?
Well, we have a lot in common, and I really feel for you. What I really feel, and I'm not just saying this to make you feel better, because if you watch the show, I don't really do that. First card I'm getting is the Hierophant card, and it's a weird word. What it actually means, I'm putting it there so you can see it. What the Hierophant card means is that there's some sort of government or institutional or some sort of financial protection coming in for you. You might not be aware of it, but there's something.
I've applied for disability and been denied.
Oh, what? I'm going to go get them.
Yeah, denied twice, even though I have a letter from my primary care physician saying I have a permanent disability.
Oh, darling. This is a lot.
Yeah, it's been a lot lately.
One thing you make Job look like an amateur, and I'm sorry because you're a lovely person. I'm very sorry you have to go through this. This is something I've said before, and people have called me and said, thank you, I got a lot of money out of this. If you go to your state's website, like I'm in New York, I go to newyork.gov and go to the comptroller's office and look for unclaimed funds, unclaimed property. It's amazing what you can get. I got 10 years ago, I got $16,000 out of that, but I had no idea. No idea.
Wow, that would change my world right now. Like I'm in an overdraft situation in my bank account. Anything would change my life right now.
So I would try that. Go to I forget what state you're calling from because I have the attention span of a
I'm in Colorado. So go to Colorado and look for unclaimed assets.
Yeah, go to Colorado.gov. Go to the comptroller.
Okay.
It just unclaimed funds. It's free. All you have to do is submit, some papers essentially proving you're you, which you are. I can tell. So that's because I'm getting the Hierophant card. I'm also thinking that there are pension funds that you don't know you have.
Oh God.
The last.
That'd be amazing.
Because I would do some research, and if you're not up to it, go on something like Fiverr and hire a kid to work for you for $10 an hour. Okay, 20. And to do some of this stuff for you because you need all your energy for healing. But the unclaimed funds things are really easy. That takes 5 minutes. I just get the feeling that there is money you don't know about. The other thing is you are an extremely proud person and you never ask for help. You don't. I know this about you. And I'm right.
Kind of areas like I'm like true Ram. Like I'm gonna do myself. No matter what you tell me, Like and it made me. I'm a recovered drug addict, and it made me really great. Drug addicts like tell me no, I'm gonna do it twice anyway.
Yeah, friend of Bill's. I hear you. Oh, I love that. God, you are so strong. The second card I got for you is it's the World card of this unusual deck, but what it says is, "Good morning, the world awaits you." So, and take it from somebody who have been in I had traumatic brain injury. I couldn't speak for a year.
We have a lot in common. I have a traumatic brain injury as well. I was brain dead for a couple hours. I have a lot of residual brain death. So.
Well, what I'm getting is that the year 2024 is your year, and you are just get through the next 2 weeks because there is money coming in. There are also, the reason I said that thing about you not asking for help is there are a lot of people who want to help you. A lot of people who really care about you. You're really, really giving, and you never asked for anything in return. It doesn't even occur to you, and don't even try denying that because I know that's true. So
yeah, without a doubt.
If worse comes to worse, you have an ex-husband out there somewhere?
No, I've never been married. I'm 44 years old. Been single my entire life, and I've always wanted to be, in a typical way, so be a wife. Oh, God bless you.
Oh, you've got a long life ahead of you too.
I have a partner that I'm with now.
Wow, you've got at least 25 years. The reason I said there's somebody who you were involved with for a while. It's got kind of a this relationship has kind of a marriage energy to it, so it might be kind of a soulmate energy to it. This is somebody who really wants to. There's somebody from your past. Yeah, does that work? Yeah.
There's somebody I've been with about almost 5 years now. And he's in the middle of getting out of a very abusive relationship, but he is, without a doubt, the love of my life. We always joke around that our love is written in the stars.
Oh, I think, he is the love of your life. And luckily, because this doesn't always happen this way, you're the love of his. So, boys like to be asked for help. Well, people who love you like to be asked for help. So we've got 2 minutes. So I'm going to say,
He's literally saved my life. Like a couple of times, literally. I had a stroke on the airplane. He was with me on the airplane. He saved my life. So.
He's always going to be the person. Yeah. I love that he did that. And I love that you something I've never said to somebody on the show before, and I've been doing this for 5 years. Girl, you're here for a reason. If only to inspire other people. You've gone through so much. Believe me, as somebody who, you and I have a lot more in common than I'm going to go into in public, but.
We should just be sitting down to have a glass of wine together.
Well, in my case, maybe a glass of milk.
That'd be fine too.
I would love that.
Oh.
But I'm on Facebook. I'm Perry Lyons, PeriLyons, because we only got 60 seconds. What I'd like you to do is reach out to me, and I'm going to give you a little free time on me. So reach out to me. I'm going to give you a bit of a free reading because you deserve it. And also, there's something I'm getting for you that I don't have time to tell you, but it's really encouraging. So basically what I'm going to say here is you're going to be with that guy. You're supposed to be, and you are going to be okay. There's going to be money coming in within 2 weeks, but get in touch with me on Facebook, okay? And
will you spell your last name one more time, please?
Oh, sure. My first name is Perry, P is pneumonia, E-R-I, like Periwinkle. My last name is Lyons, Lyons. If you go to my website, PerryLyons.com. Yeah, please do. And
I will for sure.
I've got 10 seconds, so I'm going to send you my love. And I just want to let you know it's going to be okay. It really is. I don't say that if I don't mean it. And I have a really high accuracy rate. Love you.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Tea with Marie, with Antoinette Marie. Live from AntoinetteMarie.net.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Tea with Marie
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, Soul Tea with Marie. I have a special guest tonight, Susan. She'll be on in just a moment, but of course, I just want to say my website, if anybody wants a reading for intuitive or for mediumship reading, it's at AntoinetteMarie.net. And of course, you can find me at Instagram, Soul Tea with Marie, Facebook. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me. And I have workshops coming up in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania on the afterlife and what happens when we get to the other side. So, but enough about me. I want to introduce my very good friend, Susan. She does crystallography, and she's going to explain everything about that. So, hi, Susan.
Hello.
Or Susie. I like to call her Susie. Susan's so proper. But this is Susie, and she had her spiritual, well, I want to say you had your spiritual awakening quite a while ago, if you haven't always pretty much been awakened. I want to get into the crystallography and what you do, and my friend is also a singer, so it goes along with the crystallography, but I want to talk about your spiritual awakening first, and then we'll move into crystallography. So how did you come about being aware of what was around you and your sixth sense?
Well, I think as a child, I first remember feeling really connected to the elements, just dancing by the ocean. My grandparents had a cottage by the ocean. And I remember listening to the ocean like it was the first symphony to me. And I would sit at the piano and feel like I was writing something amazing. I'm not sure what it sounded like, but so I always kind of felt very tuned into nature and just the idea of flow, and training as a young ballet dancer also made me very aware of sort of the idea of entrainment, like being aware of energy and moving with other people in space. But I would say about the 17, I started meditating. I started listening to music in the space of what is the message that's being delivered, and thinking about music as vibration and music as healing. And I started to study martial arts and a little bit of Qigong, and that started to inform a lot of the movement work I was doing. So I would say early on, and then the age of 17 really was the beginning.
I've heard your music for years now. For those who don't know, people that are watching, Susie, not only does she sing, she also writes her own music. She plays guitar. She plays the piano. She does it all. And what I have found with your music, it's almost as though you're channeling healing into your music, or you're channeling the words, and the frequency at which you sing. It's very angelic almost. It's as though the sounds and the words are coming from your higher self, and it's coming down into the earth realm, we'll say, and then it comes out of your mouth and you sing it, and it's beautiful. Would you agree, or what do you think?
Well, that is very kind of you. I sang a little bit as a kid in chorus, but
I actually started dreaming that people were bringing me guitars at about the age of 19. And, it would be like Jewel or like Steven Tyler, or it could be like Tori Amos and I were flying around, or whoever it was. And I found a guitar in my sister's attic at the age of 19. And by the end of that night, I had already written a song. And I remember going to my first open mic, not even knowing how to play a chord on a guitar. And when I got up on stage, I felt the room. I felt everyone in the room. And even from that moment, it didn't feel like it was about me. I wanted to be singing what the room needed. And music has always felt that way to me, that the songs feel like sometimes they're delivered, they usually come quickly, and I'm fascinated with a line of melody and the undercurrent of frequency that carries that line, and how you can record something and then people can hear it months and years later and still feel the vibration of emotion in that music and still feel spiritually connected. And I just am eternally fascinated and in love with that process. And yeah, I mean, it often feels like it's coming from somewhere else. But a lot of what I'm singing now is, what I would say is, just like normal folk songs, or I don't really know what style I would even classify myself as. Sometimes my voice is very bluesy, sometimes my voice is angelic. Like, I'm not sure day to day, but
well, I think spirit actually leads your voice or leads the music into where you're going. I want to talk about the crystallography in just a moment, but you touched on something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, but it happens to a lot of people. It's almost a taboo subject. We can channel people, or we can. So as a medium, I talk to people on the other side. I talk to loved ones, our family, friends, and then as a channeler, I also channel celebrities. They come through. They have a message that needs to be said, and then they also come in dreams. And you had said you dreamed with Jewel or Steven Tyler, and I just want to talk about that. Just talk about it for a moment. I know it's like, oh, should we really talk about that? But we're going to, because people need to hear it. When I was younger, Madonna used to come to me in a dream, and she would be, I think usually all in black, but we would go up like a hill, and there would be a bench at the top of the hill, and we would sit down. This was the dream, this is the whole dream. And she would say, okay, Antoinette, so where are you in your life? These are the goals that you wanted to get done, and you're not reaching them yet, or you have so much time. And so this went on and went on and went on. She used to come to me quite a few, and that would be the dream. We just meet at the bench, and she'd ask me about my life and if I was reaching the goals. And then the last dream, she said, some of these things you wanted to do, you're running out of time. And I wrote a song about it, about only having a few minutes left. And when you hear that song, it's going to resonate with you, and you're going to know your time is running out. And sure enough, she came out with the song 4 minutes. And I was like, oh no. And I never ended up going down that road that I wanted to go down. I ended up going down a different road, but I 100% believe that Joel came to you and Steven came to you. And I mean, what did they say to you?
They told me that I was from their planet. They would say to me, you're one of us. And I feel very silly saying that, but I think, Jewel is incredible because she is so herself. She is so in her spirit, and she is so connected to where she grew up and to nature. And if you read her poetry early on, I mean, she just was so connected to the earth magic, the elementals, the water, the mountains, the earth of where she grew up, and she still is. And she was one of the first people that came to me. She just said, you're one of us, and she handed me the guitar, and she said, you're from our planet, or something like kooky like that. But I oftentimes have dreams like that, like you, as you know. And Madonna was actually on a vision board of mine in 2001. I actually ended up working for her maybe 5 years later. So, I mean, I think that these people, I think of them as almost like, it sounds silly, but almost like modern day angels, because we hear their music again. We hear the frequency that they're out. Their frequency is out there, and then I feel like that frequency can reach us at different times. Like
Absolutely.
dream, or like when you hear a song in the radio. I really feel like spirit delivers music at certain times, and I try to believe that if you are in your soul and you really are here to connect with people, for me through music or whatever, that then you know whatever you want to say, angels or spirit will then carry that to people when they need to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And I think that the music brings healing. Even, I mean, Madonna did dance music, and you could say, oh, that wasn't the soulsy, bluesy like Bob Dylan. It didn't move you, but I think it moves certain people. Everybody hears a frequency in a different way, and every soul, every person needs a different type of, I'm just going to go with the music, but it could be books, it could be anything. Everybody resonates differently with something different. So sure, it could be Madonna, it could be Bob Dylan, it could be Jewel. I believe that we're all from different planets, and yeah, if she said you're from her planet, she's probably talking about the musical planet. I know. Susie's over here like, hold on, this is not what we agreed to talk about. You're totally outing me right now. But I think this is important, because there are people that are going to watch this and they've had all these experiences and they think they're crazy, but they're not. I think that we're all connected as one. And
music trans time. Music makes its own time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about crystallography. What is it?
So there's an incredible goddess of water, and this woman, Vita Austin, who I found maybe under a year ago. She's doing some incredible work with water, and where she's crystallizing the water. And similar to Dr. Masaru Emoto, who measured crystallography through, Bach or Beethoven, or even a thought or sending an emotion to the water, and they would measure the crystals that formed. Vita is carrying on work like that, but she figured out a way to do this that you didn't need a fancy lab. You didn't need, certain temperature control or whatever. And I found her. And the moment I found her, I knew that I was supposed to sing my songs into the water. It was like my soul was like, you need to sing your songs into the water. And the thought was, we are made largely of water. And I wanted to record a record or EP that would be the most healing for the planet at this time. So I was thinking, if I sing these songs into the water, maybe I'll be able to see which songs create the most extraordinary crystals, and maybe those will be the songs that I choose to put on a record. So there's a song called We Are Instruments that I had written maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I sang this song to this little dish of water in this hotel when I was in between moving, and I froze the water. And when I took the water out of the freezer, I had sung this line, which was, we are instruments, we are not machines, we're made of nature, the stars and the trees. And this beautiful tree formed in the water. And I'm sitting out by myself, and I'm like, that's a tree. And there's a butterfly, and there's like an angel person tree. And I was really overtired, and I was just kind of like, okay. But my soul, on the other hand, was like, yes, there's the tree. And so from that point forward, I have been continuously getting images, and it's been one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen. It's like what we know about the power of the word, the power of our intention, the power of frequency, all of these things that musicians know in their heart is what I'm seeing in the water. It's almost like the water is sculpting what I'm singing about, and it's doing it in its own way. And I'm just collaborating with the water. It's like, it's tricky to explain.
It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. So take us step by step of what you do. So what type of dish? What do you mean? Is it clear? Is it colored? What?
Well, Vita actually teaches a course. So if people are really interested, they should check out Vita Austin as well. But I basically, you're singing into like a little dish of, like a glass dish of water, and
So it's a clear glass dish.
and if people see my crystallography, they'll see the water in the dish. And she teaches you, how much water to put in there, and how to do it. I think it's both sort of an intuitive thing for me about when to go get this dish of water. And also the biggest thing is that remaining open, because there's a lot of times where there's been an image that is formed and I didn't see it right away, but I took a photo of it, and like even the next morning I'm looking at it and going, oh, there's the shape of an angel, or there's this very relevant story that had to do with the song I was. And so basically I'm connecting with the water, and sometimes, I mean, it depends on what I'm singing. The other night I was singing something that had to do with aligning to the light, and so I was moving in ways to influence the water as well. And
So did you add dance to it?
I kind of did. Like,
that's awesome.
From a dance, but I mean, the idea of divine flow and flow is like, has been through my whole life. And there's actually Isadora Duncan, who I call my sort of passed away mentor, used to say something like light waves, sound waves, wave waves, it's all the same. And she was very into the ocean as well. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just with the water and sort of praying in song to the water, and then you just let the water do its thing, because as Vita says that water is not a resource, it is source, which I think is one of the most powerful statements. And so I can't control what forms, I'm just think that since I've started doing this work, it's really made me remember, collaborate with other humans is the same way. I mean, you can't control what happens, but if you're both out of the way, that's when the magic happens.
Absolutely. You're right. I like that water is source, because we are. Aren't we 80% water?
I think more than that, actually. I don't know what the exact number is. There's varying, opinions on that, but we are largely made of water. And you think about it, when you are very happy or you're very sad and you cry salt and water. I've always been fascinated with this. And so it's like we are water. Or I think about, like, when you look in a puddle reflects you. A puddle will reflect the sky. So the fact that the water is, forming these expressions of what I'm singing about, it makes sense, And so the idea is that live water constantly updates, but when water crystallizes, it holds that frequency. So if I'm singing a line holding the line. It's holding that frequency with
So
by
you have me thinking about grief and sadness, and we cry, especially when we're grieving.
hmm
And it makes me think, is that a frequency that we're holding? And then we release it with water.
Sure, everything is frequency, I think. I think emotions have frequency. I think that everything is frequency.
No, I agree with you. Everything is frequency. We live in the matrix. Um, I want to go back just so that if anybody wants to do this crystallography at home, so that they know how to do it. So you take this glass
They should
bowl.
they should do, if they really are interested in crystallography, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is they should probably find Vita Austin.
Sure. But let's say they don't. If they just want to do it at home, they have the crystal bowl, and then I just want to know what you do. So you're at home with your crystal bowl, and you put a little bit of water in there, and then you sing into it. Correct.
More, I am meditating and merging my energy with it. But she is really the goddess that created this method. I just knew that when I met her, for me personally, what I felt that I was supposed to do was to see what the effect of music would have. But other people do other things. Other people may put a word with it. If you look at Vita's work, you can see she's done an extraordinary amount of work. She will expose the water to different things and see what forms crystal in the crystallography.
So you can do, I'm trying to think about what you said there. So you sing, and then you said you put some dance into that, and you also meditate, but some people also do words, so they just talk.
Some people will just put a word with the water. Some people will, I think everyone has a very individual relationship with it and a feeling of what they want to experience. So some people are using it for healing. Some people are, just placing a word with it. I don't know what everyone's doing, but she's on Instagram and she has a whole website and everything for what she's doing. She's found similar patterns between multiple people with the same words. Even similar crystallization has been formed. Yeah, so it's incredibly fascinating. For me personally, I just felt like music was what I wanted to do, and I'm in the process of putting together an EP called We Are Instruments, and it's basically about the fact that we're conscious and that we are vibration and that our words are powerful and that we are frequency and we are divine and we are human. And when I met her, I felt that particular song was so resonant with the work that she was doing. Felt like I just met a member of the soul family, and what was my contribution, basically.
With your EP, are you in the song, are you going to add any of your crystal images with it?
Well, I have multiple songs now. There's so many of them. I've written a lot of songs, and a lot of them are producing crystallography. And the crystallography always happens. It's just a matter of how clear it is, or, if it's abstract or it's a picture. But I have multiple songs that I have crystals for, and I want to present the songs and then show the crystallography that it formed with the songs.
And I would imagine that putting them together, that there's almost a certain type of healing that comes with that.
It does. For me, honestly, I have felt like what do I have to what do I have to give in terms of music, and what do I have to contribute? And I can't even, it's making me like verklempt, because I literally have been like, should I do music? Like, is this what I should do? And then it's, like almost asking the why, and then it's showing me these incredible things. So I'm like, okay. So, it is very healing. And my hope is that, some people may see the images and feel healing from the images. Some people may hear the song and feel healing from the song, or both. And when I used to be a dancer, we had this concept of, if you were to see the movement or you were to hear the music, that you would feel the same way. Because I started writing music with my dancers and choreographing. So it's the same feeling of, whether someone sees the crystals or they hear the song, or both. I imagine, like, if a song could make a crystal like that, what does that song do when it's sung to another human? What does it do to the water in their body?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of my thought, of hopefully them being healing.
So if someone wants to see the crystallography that you've produced, where would we go see that? And then if the person that you said we should really check out, who is the originator, what are those two?
So Vita Austin is the person who I found. She's on Instagram. I think she's got a whole website if you look her up. Dr. Emoto did work about this years ago. You can probably find him anywhere as well. I am at right now just at the Susan Chamberlain on Instagram. I'm still working on putting a site together, and but that's really where I'm kind of, putting out some of these images, and also posting some of my music as I'm writing it and as I'm putting together this We Are Instruments.
Right, right. That is awesome. Well, thank you, Susie, for being on my show. We're almost out of time.
Okay.
But for anyone that wants to check her crystallography out, please go to her website, or to her Instagram, but also her music as well. Is your song on there? We Are Instruments. Can they find that?
We Are Instruments is on there. The tree that formed is on the top of my Instagram, and there's pieces of We Are Instruments. I'm working on, putting some orchestrals and different instruments into We Are Instruments. But I try to remain as raw as possible and just show like what I actually sang to the water.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Yes. Namaste.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from tarotwithsteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm Stephanie, your Mini Medium, and happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I am excited to be back. I feel like I get FOMO. It's the fear of missing out, right? So last week, I had so many things that I had to kind of miss, and we ran into some car problems. But the good news is that it was a fairly inexpensive fix, and I'm so happy that that's the case, because we actually I have to laugh just because we're in this crazy energy right now with the retrograde coming, and Oh, goodness, Venus in retrograde. And then we, of course, have the two full moons this month. And then today is a new moon. And not only is it that, but it's new moon in Leo. So Leo is very strong and a very dominant, type of energy. So I have felt all the feels, my friend. One of the things that I read was that during the so about 2 weeks before the retrograde, really is where you see a lot of kind of the stuff breaking down. So if the last 2 weeks or so you've noticed that your car's broke down, or you've had electronics break, your phone's not working, it feels like everything's kind of going wonky with electronics and whatnot, then it probably, I always say I blame it on the moon, or I blame it on Mercury. Blame it on Mercury retrograde, right? So I'm happy that things actually weren't as bad as what they probably could have been. Now I should knock on wood, right? Don't want to jinx myself, but anyhow, great week I've had. I'm excited to be back, and I was actually worried that I wasn't going to be here today because we went to our family on Sunday, went to an amusement park here in Utah. It's called Lagoon. And if some of you follow my Stephanie's tarot reading page, I posted that I actually went on this crazy ride called the Sky Coaster, and it lifts you up. And so I don't even know how many feet, to be honest. I mean, it's really, really high. And uh, it was just crazy because I usually am very scared of height. And I thought, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to do this. So I talked to my oldest daughter and my son in law, and this thing lifted us up, however high it was. And then I had to pull the ripcord because my oldest daughter was terrified of even doing it. And so I pull that ripcord and it drops us, and it's like a straight, you're looking at the ground. It's almost like bungee jumping. And then as it went down, it scoops you up, and then you feel like you're free flying. And it was like the most exhilarating, most amazing, and most terrifying thing I've ever done. So I say, if you get the chance to do it, I would do it again. So it was such a cool feeling. So then that was wonderful. And then shortly after that, I was stung by a wasp 3 times on my back. I think this little sucker got stuck in my hair, and I have 3 huge wasp stings on my back. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Luckily, I didn't have too bad of a reaction, but still, I'll tell you, if you've never been stung by a wasp, I hope you never are. I never really understood the pain until I had to experience it for myself. But anyway, so yes, lots of crazy stuff since I was on my last time on the show. So we're going to jump in here now that I've shared my crazy last couple of weeks and share the affirmation. So every week, I start my show off with an affirmation. And the affirmation is just a promise to yourself, and really kind of repeat it over and over, telling yourself that you will do this for you, right? That inner self love and self care. So, for everyone listening, your affirmation says, the love within me is more powerful than doubt or fear. So, I'm laughing too because when I saw this card come out, as I was connected to a number, I literally was like, oh, well, that makes sense because I going on that crazy, free fall that I did, even reading this, the love within me is more powerful than doubt or fear. So it was like, okay, I love myself. I trust. I know it's going to be okay. And the doubt and fear eventually went away. But more so, this is really connecting with your intuition and the respect and love you have for yourself, and how powerful that is, and how powerful that it can be to take over, per se, any doubts or fears that you have. And the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real or false ego appearing real. So anytime that you feel that you're afraid or you have fear, just remember that acronym, that false evidence appearing real, or sometimes our ego gets in the way, and it's that false ego appearing real. Anyhow, powerful message for this week, and I hope it all resonates with you and helps you get through your next week or so as we start to go into this retrograde. And then today being a new moon, you should be manifesting, right? Manifesting the things that you want to have come to light, right? So write your manifestations on a piece of paper and take that piece of paper and fold it up, put it under your pillow, allow that energy to, in other words, absorb and soak into your psyche, into that beautiful crown chakra, your third eye, your throat, and you'll see how a lot of this will come to fruition. It's beautiful. I mean, if you want to manifest winning the lottery, kudos to you, if that works for you. But ultimately, you want to be a little practical with your manifestations, right? All right. Well, enough of my chit chat. How about we do readings? And I have Lena from Ohio. Hi, Lena.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, I'm right there with you, hon. I feel sometimes that's the best we can do. Some days that's the best, and it's okay. How can I help you tonight?
Just wondering if there's somebody around me.
Okay. And I just want to make sure. I never want to assume, but seeing if you have any loved ones in spirit that are with you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, hon. So let me ask you first, if you've ever listened to my show, I always have numbers that come up, and as I'm getting ready and I'm meditating, these numbers come through, and I trust that there's a reason. Now, the number I've been seeing today is the number 35, so 3 and 5. Now, when I see these numbers, it connects to either March 5th, where the 3 and 5 comes in. This can also be connected to the age of 35. This can also be connected to someone who was born in 1935. So does that number offhand connect with you in any way at the moment?
Not offhand, it doesn't.
Okay.
Not offhand.
Okay. No, and that's okay, hon. I just always start out and make sure that if I'm connecting with someone and they want that as their validation, that I make sure that it goes to the right person. So I'm going to quiet my mind for a moment here, so it'll be quiet. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to get focused, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now the first feeling I'm getting is very male. I have a very strong male coming through, and everybody always asks me, "How do you know if it's a male or female?" And my best answer to that is just a feeling. Men come through in a heavier sense, and then women come through. The females come through kind of more lighter. It's weird to explain, but but I feel as I'm picking up on this male, one of the main things that I'm seeing with him is there's a problem with, immediately I'm getting pain right in my chest. And then that pain goes right up to my head. So this for me is going to be passing of the heart or lungs, but also something with the head, whether it be stroke or Alzheimer's, dementia. Do you connect with that?
The lung part, that would be my late husband. He passed of emphysema.
Okay.
And it was a massive heart attack that ultimately killed him.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry, my friend. I am so
thank
so
you.
sorry. I I really feel even his energy as he comes through. Sometimes I have to try to differentiate if this is a love that a father would have for a daughter, or if this is a love that a spouse would have for, his spouse, for their spouse. Uh, and I really do feel that him giving me that validation of, the lungs and having a hard time breathing, and this very well could be him. Now, he's showing me the number 10, so I'm getting October or the 10th of a month, um, or the year 2010.
Yep.
Do you connect with? Okay. And how do you connect with
That
that,
is,
hun?
it could be one of two things. It could be my he's connected with my son over there. His birthday was October, or it could
Okay.
be the year that he and I got together,
Oh,
2010.
beautiful. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. And okay. Oh, he's smiling. I got this feeling of just joy coming from him right now. And he says, okay. He also says that I do feel he is with your son, and here's why. Because I felt him, and as I felt him, I felt there being kind of a childlike energy. And that's regardless of however old your son had passed. But I feel he's with the child, and that's how he comes through. Now, okay. Um, do you connect with I'm hearing names. I get names often, and I'm hearing this is like Robert, but would go by Bob. William would go by Bill. Do you connect with a name like that?
My son's name was
James would be
Roderick.
perfect. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, your son is here as well, and this is his way of bringing through his name and validation. Um, and now I don't feel that your husband was his biological father. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But I'll tell you, your husband is very adamant that he's taking care of him. He says, "Tell," and he refers to you, and he just says, "My beautiful wife." He just keeps saying, "Oh,
Yes,
please
that's
tell
what he
my."
called me.
Yes, and I love it, and tell my beautiful wife that I have her son, and and your son is so just I'm going to tell you one of the most important things coming from him, Lena, is that he says, "Tell my mom that I was not in pain. I felt no pain. They're worried." Do you understand that?
I'm always worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So no, don't be sorry. So do never ever apologize for crying. It's very cleansing. It is very cleansing.
Yeah.
And what our souls need. Um, your son, he's kind of funny because he says he's been really trying to connect with you, but he's been struggling. So I feel your son and your late husband had a lot to do with why that you are here, why that you were able to get through and connect with me or any other reader for that matter. But your son made this happen, he really did. And your husband, he says to make sure you pay attention. He's showing me the clocks. He's showing me clocks. I'm not sure what this is about, but I'm seeing grandfather clocks and cuckoo clocks.
A
So
clock?
yes, So if it doesn't resonate right now, just keep it in mind. because there's some
Okay.
reason that there's that there. So, um, okay. Uh, yeah, okay. Um, and your husband also, I hear him tell you for me to tell you that he really connects with you as you're in the car driving. He says when you're in the vehicle or through music, there's a connection through song. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, there's a connection
Okay.
through music. Um, Now I know, man, I'll tell you, we got both from here and they're quite talkers, but I have another caller waiting. But let me tell you, if you are still awake, Lena, here in the next hour at 7:30 on my Facebook page, it's mini medium, just like my show. I do
Uh-huh.
free readings for a couple hours. So it'd be 9:30 East Coast time. And so
Okay.
if you're interested, hop on. And I would love to continue this for you because I feel like both your husband and your son are talkers. I'm getting a
Oh
lot from
yeah.
them.
No.
but
Yeah.
but I would love to share more with you. But if you can do that, I would look forward to seeing you on there and see if we can't give you some more messages from them. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
so much.
you are so welcome. Thank you for calling, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, all right, man. These go so fast. And when we start to channel the other side, they just love to stay and hang out. So I've got Tina from Maryland, I believe. Hi, Tina.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing well too.
Good, good. Well, I know we've got probably about 8, 9 minutes. It'll be quick, but what can I do to help you?
Well, did you want for me to ask a question or like, is it possible to just kind of see what comes through or how do you work?
Whatever you would like, my friend. I can just give a general type reading where I just am drawn to whatever I'm picking up on. But if you have a specific topic, that kind of helps to get us right to what you're wanting, whichever you prefer.
Well, I guess I do have one question that pops into my head, which is, I'm going through kind of a difficult time right now in my life. And I guess like a transitionary type of time. And part of my work that I do is I actually read tarot. And lately I've been wondering if that's even something that I should continue doing. I've been like really confused about even that, which used to be, feel like my purpose almost. And I guess I would just ask maybe if you had any messages from my dad. He's around me during this time.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll see what I can get in our few minutes here. But like I was mentioning earlier to my previous caller, I do at 7:30 Mountain Time. So here in about an hour, I hop on my Facebook page and I give free readings for a couple hours. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
still up interested, I just throw that out there as well.
Sure.
But so I know what you're saying about what is my purpose, and I'll tell you, I use tarot cards as a guide or a tool, but I have really worked on just trusting my gifts. Trusting the things that I see and hear and feel, and then know. So I always say that if you are drawn to the metaphysical, if you are drawn to the tarot, if you are drawn to, tea leaves, reading tea leaves, or whatever it may be that's part of the metaphysical, don't ever, ever doubt it, my friend, because there's a reason that you are drawn to, you know. Even just listening and picking up on your beautiful energy, I can tell that you have a very good heart. I can tell that you do this as far as reading and using tarot, to help others. This is not really something that just one day thought about. It feels to me that you've grown. Uh, and one thing that I did, I actually pulled a couple cards as we're sitting here, and I feel, you have such a very spiritual energy that I would say stay focused with the tarot, but also start to add more modalities into your wheelhouse. Because I feel you might be getting bored. You might be having some, sense of boredom. So, that I feel can help you, whether you decide to do Reiki, energy work, sound bath, however you want. Now, I've been trying to see if I can pick up anything from you said your dad had passed. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, one of the things I'm really picking up on too, and actually as I pulled the card, is a sense of that your dad's passing feels to me that there's still some unanswered questions. I feel that there's still wondering really what really happened. Um, and I don't know if that makes sense to you, but as I'm sitting here picking up on, the things that I'm hearing and seeing and feeling, it just feels like, they may have diagnosed him with one thing and said he passed from this, but I feel there's more to it. So does that make sense with you at the moment?
I know now the details of how he died, but it wasn't always clear to me.
Okay, perfect. And that could be very well why I'm picking up on that, just the thought or energy coming from you. Now, do you connect with the number 19 with your dad of the 19th of a month or 2019?
Not that I can think of right now, no.
Okay, okay. Please keep that in mind because I keep seeing the 19 over and over. So this is always my intuition or your loved ones in spirit. Really, making sure that we bring that up. So, and this can also be January 9th. So keep that in mind too. When I get 1 and 9, it can be those two together.
Yeah, I was thinking that I have somebody else with the birthday February 9th, but
Okay.
yeah.
Can I ask when your dad passed?
Oh, February 27th, 1987.
February 27th of 87. Okay, so yeah, it's been quite some time. Okay, okay. Um, okay. And can I ask how old you were when Dad passed?
Almost 4.
Almost 4. Okay, okay. So very, very young there. Okay. Because I feel that the 19 I want you to keep in mind is really it's going to be either an age or this is going to be a date. So this could even be your dad bringing up 19 years ago, So that's why I wanted to see if maybe sometimes I have to kind of help us to connect, but more than anything, please keep that in mind. Now, I'll tell you. Oh, oh. Do you have children?
No, no.
Okay, okay, that's okay. He's bringing up the 19 as being also connected to a child. So whether this is, a sibling or a child connected. So again, just help and give more information. So please just keep that in mind. Every time the clients come see me and we don't quite connect, then I always say, take it with you. And then later they message and they're like, oh my gosh, Steph, guess what? This is what this is. So, but I do feel there's a very strong significance with the 19. Now, another thing I want to tell you that I'm seeing as well. Let's see. Okay, this would be, okay. Okay. I keep getting, initial C. I keep getting the letter C. So C like Charles or Carl, the C. So there's some connection with that as well. I know that's very bland and very pretty bland.
Well, his nickname was Chop, so that begins with a C.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That would be why. Well, beautiful. Well, I know I've only got about 90 seconds that my producers tell me, but please, if you feel drawn, Tina, if you want to hop on my Facebook page, Mini Medium, and it's on at 7:30 Mountain Time. It's 6:30 Pacific, and then I believe that you are 2 hours ahead on the East Coast, so 9:30. So I know that's kind of late, but I would love for you to hop on and we can see if we can't get more connection with Dad, okay?
I will. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for calling in and trusting me to do your reading.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Have a beautiful night.
You too, doll. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, my friends, what an amazing night back. Oh my gosh, I told you this new moon energy is incredible. So please, if you will, hop on my Facebook page, Mini Medium, and I'll be doing that live here shortly. And then I will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful night. Bye, guys.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I'm your host, Mary, for Understanding Spirit. While I'm waiting for a caller to come through, I just want to talk to you a little bit about how Spirit can communicate with us. when you're either going for a paid reading or you even on this show. We get communicates. It's a very difficult thing actually to do because it's a time frame, and Spirit will communicate with us through messages, symbols. We'll see things, we'll hear things, and it's up to the reader to get these messages. And sometimes you can get a lot of messages, you know, all at once. So I might hear my guide talking, I can see a spirit, I might see your guide. And sometimes for me, I have to start writing things down because I know I'm not going to remember everything. I can't listen to, you know, 3 conversations at once. So sometimes there can be a lot, you know, going on, and trying to get everything out as quickly as possible, and also getting validation too from the sitters from you guys. So you know, a lot of people tend to think, even when they're wanting to develop their abilities, you know, they think everything has to be a grand sort of gesture, you know, where spirit will sit down and just start talking to you, you know, like you might be talking with a friend having a cup of tea or something. You know, it's not like that. It can come in bursts. So you know, just always keep that in mind. If you are developing, don't underestimate anything that you're getting. All right. So we have Aaron, I believe, on the line. Hello.
Yeah, I am here. Hello. How you doing?
I'm very well,
Hello?
thank you. Is this Aaron?
This is Aaron. Yes.
How are you?
Can you hear me? I'm doing
Yes, I
good.
can.
I'm doing good. I can't complain too much.
That's
Can
good.
you guys
That's
hear
what
me
I'm
right?
Sorry, what
Can
was
you hear
that?
me correctly?
Yes, I can. How can I help?
Okay. Okay. Well, you were gonna give me a reading, and I'm interested in that. So looking to it, but I'm not familiar with how it works. So you can help me get to that point. I love it.
Yeah, no problem. Are you after a general reading about your life, or are you wanting to connect with a loved one who's passed away? What direction would you like to go in?
Okay, well, if I were to ask you a question, I'd like to say, you know, is there some level of an omen over me or some dark spirit? Because I keep running into walls in different endeavors in my life, and they seem to be, it just seems to be that way. I'm not sure why.
Okay, so you're feeling like maybe there's some kind of negativity around your life and you're getting blockages. Is that correct?
I wonder if that I just feel like maybe I have some kind of a bad luck omen over me or something, because you know, like things that I think I should be prospering through, I seem to not be able to prosper like other people, even though I put in the work.
Yeah, okay. Aaron, what I'm seeing around you is I see a lot of light around you, actually. All right. So I don't feel like it's anything that you are doing essentially. I do also see some gray energy around your aura as well. Okay. So I do feel like there could be some negativity kind of thrown your way. All right. Now, what I have been learning lately is that I first of all, I always wear one of these. I'll show you. It's like see, turn it around. It's not doing what I want it to do. Like an evil eye. Yep, we're going wrong way. Okay, and the blue one is always the best one. So if somebody is giving you the evil eye, you know, it can bring some negative energy around you. Okay, now the evil eye is not always a bad thing. All right, people can unfortunately give you the evil eye because they think you're doing really well or they're praising you. You know, in some cultures, a lot of brides will always wear the evil eye on their wedding day because, you know, people are always talking about how beautiful they look and stuff like that. Okay, so you can, first of all, you can start, if you want, you can wear something like that. Okay. Also, our own energy attracts things as well. Okay, now, and it's as simple as, let's say you're driving along and somebody cuts you off, right? And if you have a moment where you kind of get really angry and, you know, you might be cursing or whatever, or just sending out something not very nice to that person, you know, we consider ourselves to be good people. However, we have little bursts, okay, where we don't consider that to make us bad people. However, it doesn't make us bad people. But what it does do, it sends out negative energy to somebody. And then, of course, what happens, it comes straight back to us as well. Okay. So the other thing that I would say to you is always in your life, try to just send out goodwill. Okay. If somebody does do something like that, where they cut you off, or you're at the grocery store and someone pushes in front of you and it's annoying, especially if you're in a hurry or whatever, stuff like that, try to just stay within yourself, try to just stay kind of like in control of your situation at that time. Okay. And so that you are sitting in light within yourself. Okay, you will find that the more you practice that, the freer you will become. It's not something that happens straight away, but it does happen. Okay, you start to detach from your human state and you start to feel more elevated, more enlightened within yourself. Okay, and then you start to attract all things that are of light. Okay.
All right.
So there are, of course, also prayers that you can read for yourself. You know, if you want to just do it just in case, if you feel like, you know, I don't see a curse around you, but I am happy to give you something if you want to email me, you know, on maryvcircle@gmail.com. I can give you something that you can read out for yourself as well. It's like a prayer that you can read out for yourself of protection on a daily sort of basis. The other thing you can also do is you can get sage, and just at any sort of metaphysical store, sometimes in markets and stuff, they'll have it. Make sure that it's white sage and that it's a good quality sage, and you just light it, and now embers and everything fly everywhere, so you can do it outside, but just kind of start from the top of your head and just try to take the sage around your body from head to toe and do that 3 times. Now, in my shows, when they've been educational, I've also spoken about protecting yourself every day. All right. And I ask for, you know, when you're doing meditations, but this is something you should do anyway, every day, right? Visualize a white light coming down, and like a white ribbon of light, see it wrapping around your head from the top all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Do that 3 times, and then bring down another white light and visualize that going around your body 3 times, giving you protection. All right. The other thing that you can do to put yourself in a protective dome is, I'm sure you have them there. We have them here in Australia. You know, the little snow domes that you shake and they got like a little snow in it. Visualize yourself like you're sitting in a little snow dome. All right. Now there's no snow in there. It's just your lovely self. And on the inside of the dome is all mirrors. And all you can see is your beautiful self and your beautiful energy. And on the outside of your snow dome is mirrors as well. And then whenever anybody is sending you any kind of ill intent or jealousy or any negative feelings because they're upset about you at that moment, it kind of just bounces off you and it's like a return to sender kind of thing. Okay. So they're the kind of things that you can do. I don't see any attachments on you that can be causing you any harm. You just need to be protecting yourself every day. And if you can't remember everything like after the show, just look back on the show and you'll just do those things. They're pretty easy to do. It's just, the discipline of doing them. But I do see you doing really well. Is that why you feel people are doing this kind of stuff to you? I feel like there is a bit of jealousy around you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm standing in the world famous Laugh Factory right now, and I'm one of the comedians and I've been to 43 states, 4 countries doing it, but I haven't been to where I'm super famous or very well known. AaronFoster.net is my thing, AaronFoster.net. So I was wondering why, and it always feels like I'll get close and then something will happen, like opportunities.
Aaron, I'm sorry, we're at the end of the show, but if you get in touch with me, I'm happy to continue on email with this for you, okay?
Yep.
All right, email me and I'll continue with your reading.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Thanks for calling. All right, thank you.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly Kristen. Live from MediumKellyKristen.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul to Soul
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul to Soul. Thank you so much for joining me. I am your host, Medium Kelly Kristen, and thank you for listening to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I hope you are having a fantastic night because it's going to get a little bit better because I invited my good friend, Maurice Sinclair from Ancient Made Modern. So let's say hello to him. Hi, Maurice.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You know what? Oh, yeah, of course. I thought not to cop out, but I thought I would have you introduce yourself because I don't want to miss any of your fabulous things that you do. I mean, you have a wealth of skills. So do you mind? I
No, I
know.
don't mind.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
just go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, on paper, I'm a Reiki master, a psychic medium, a shamanic practitioner, and an Akashic Records healer, among other things. And yeah, and I run my spiritual business under the name Ancient Made Modern.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know we can find you on your website, Ancient Made Modern, and all your social media. So,
Definitely.
yeah. So I know we kind of talked about what we were going to talk about tonight. And I'm just like so fascinated with generational trauma and how we as psychic mediums can help our clients. Um, it's just it's mind blowing to think that our when our grandmother was pregnant with our mom had all of the eggs she ever was going to have forever, right? So it's like we were part of our grandmother before our mom was even born.
Oftentimes, the answer ends up being, well, this is something that you've inherited from your family. It's interesting how many physical ailments are inherited as well, and it might look slightly different. So, for example, maybe a person that you're reading for, a sitter, has uh, heart palpitations or something. But then in their family line, someone else had a completely different heart issue, but the area of the body remains the same. As mediums, we have the honor and the pleasure of being able to do that for people, helping people to heal themselves. And like you say, like sometimes half of the issue, or maybe sometimes even all the issue, is
Yeah.
simple awareness, letting them
Yeah.
know what it is, and then it kind of activates on its own. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I like how you said that enabling our clients to heal themselves. That is, it's almost like, therapy, right? Like almost like spiritual counseling without the counseling license. I don't have one, but
Absolutely.
um,
Me neither.
yeah. And I like the idea that this can also be done in different ways. So it's almost like we can model it to, not like we come in saying we're going to do a certain thing, like we're going to only do Reiki, or we're only going to do past lives, or we're only going to, give you something to work with to heal. I don't know about for you, but it almost comes intuitively on how I work with my clients. Is that how it is for you?
Absolutely. And it's funny because like I'm beginning to move out of a space where I'm even dividing my services into different names. I only offer different services. It's really to help people make a decision about how they want to approach their ailment or their issue, or whatever it is. It's more for the client to kind of like breach the ego, to breach the human mind that wants to pick something, that wants to decide that, hey, this is the thing that I need. But when I work, it's everything. Everything's activating
Right.
all at once. So for example, I did a reading today, and it's supposed to be a psychic reading, and we ended up getting into past life stuff.
Yeah.
Because intuitively, that's what was required of the person. So I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that I like that you do that I don't do is like shamanic practice work. Do you do like do you ever use that, like mind journeys, or what, do you ever use shamanic work in this process of the
It's
generational?
so interesting that you say that, because the answer is yes. Because
Okay.
so going back to the example of Reiki, so the first spiritual modality that I ever actively did was shamanic journey. So
Mm,
thus all of my spiritual practices kind of run through that filter automatically, because this is kind of what my mind built everything else around. So what that looked like for me, especially for example in a Reiki session, I might journey into the person's body. Do you
oh,
know what I mean? And I just
yeah.
just kind of reporting everything that I see. And sometimes it'll be very symbolic. I don't oftentimes just see like body parts. Oftentimes
Right.
I'm walking into the heart space that might look like a long tunnel, and then I end up having to allow whatever it is that's needed to solve for the issue, or to help them solve for the issue rather, move through my body into their body. So how this would look in the context of generational trauma. So I might walk into somebody's uh, sacral area, and I'll see some representation of a pattern of self betrayal, and
Mm,
then I'll have to look at that
yeah.
and kind of look at the origin. I'll usually given some information about the origin of this pattern, And though I might see it through the context of the person's current life, if I trace it back, it oftentimes has to do with something that's been passed down generation over generation. Then when I talk to the sitter, it'll be something like, you know what? Yeah, my mom had that same issue. My grandmother had that same issue. And that becomes the indicator, like, yeah, it's been happening in your family line for a while.
Yeah, just I don't know why I feel like this is a new concept for me. I think I had a hard time. I either didn't think about it or I had a hard time believing. But this was back when I was a school teacher, right? And I used to see this a lot with my students, and I think, gosh, this has been passed down. But I didn't really put it together that it was through like their DNA, like it really was part of their body. So
Mm.
that's just been a huge, within the last, 10 years, huge eye opening for me, and has changed my practice and the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because it's nothing that I don't, I've never learned this. No one ever told me this. I think it's
Right.
something that you just kind of trip onto, like, oh, that does happen. That is the thing, because you're just kind of told in your work. And yeah, so you made me think about that. I was like, how did I come across it? I think it just kind of happened incidentally one day, and then I've just been applying the same concept to everyone I work with.
Yeah. And it's some families more than others, I'm finding as well. I just did that psychic detection course on missing and murdered Indigenous women, and
Mm,
it really came through in that class because of it's generational. The one of the cases we had was the woman's who was killed. Her mother was also killed by a serial
mm,
killer. But even beyond that, just what happened to them, generational, where parents were killed, children were taken away, put in schools. So you think these children had no parents and they were traumatized, and that just carries down and carries down, and we're still seeing the effects of that. Um,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
just really, sad and interesting. But I'm the kind of person, like, once you kind of can understand something, it helps. And so I like to help my clients with that as well. I feel like it's a release, right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
I think it's interesting how um, the body, the DNA, can trap both trauma, but also like quote unquote positive things,
yes,
gifts. You can.
yes,
Yeah, for example, like I know for a fact that I can do what I do because everyone before me was able to do this. Like I had the last practicing psychic in my family would have been my great great grandfather, who I only just recently learned. I didn't grow up knowing that. I just recently learned that
hmm,
after I started working. But looking back at my family, I'm just like, oh yeah, my dad is a real psychic. Like they never, they do their stuff to block their gift out, and nor would they probably
right.
accept it. But like if I'm looking like the things that they just knew they could just do, it's like,
Oh,
oh, mhm,
yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because let's look at it, the glass half full, right?
right,
I always joke that a lot of the clients that come to me for a psychic reading, that they already know, they already know they're just coming for validation
right,
because, I find a lot of clients that come to me are very psychic and very intuitive. And then as you get into that, you find that they'll mention, oh yeah, that's my mom or my grandmother, or it's on my mom's side now that they think about it. So I love that you brought up the part about uh, gifts as well, because absolutely there are a lot
yeah,
of gifts. I think intelligence or um, I think even kindness or a good heart, right? All of
absolutely.
these things I think can be handed down from generation to generation.
I completely agree. Yeah, beyond the spirituality,
Right.
the emotionality, the personality. Yeah, we inherit. Yeah, it's, I guess, like you say, glass half full. It's important to look at both sides. That we obviously have to look at the things that are less desirable, the things that we feel are painful or traumatic, because there's a lot of medicine in that seeing it. So be like, oh, okay. So what I find a lot is that like someone might be going through something and they're taking this thing on as completely their own, and which is important to do because you do have to own whatever is happening within your own body because there's
Right.
purpose in it. But
Right.
also it helps the ego to understand that it feels
Yeah.
so heavy because you're carrying probably hundreds or thousands of years of this trauma, and it feels heavy because it's a lot, and a lot of people have handed this down to you, and it's also an honor that you get to solve for it after so much time.
Right. And absolutely, that's the other part of it. Once we recognize what it is, we can start to heal it, right? And separate it from ourselves a little bit so that we can begin the healing process so that we don't hand it down to our children or our children's children, even though I guess might be kind of late if we already have children, but
So I'm glad that you brought that up because
okay.
I'm of the belief that when we do these things, it's that we heal in all directions, both forward and
Ah,
backwards.
I
It's
love
not just
that.
that we're solving for the people that come after us. We help people who have come before us as well as the people after us. So yeah, it's all virtual.
Absolutely. I believe the same thing. I thank you. And that's going to be like, we're already done. This goes by so quickly, but that's a great note to leave on that we can heal. And, it's always a work in progress and for our soul. So thank you so much for joining me tonight again, Maurice. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, guys, look him up on Ancient Made Modern, and I will see you all next week. Good night.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm so happy to have you here. So I reached out to a friend of mine this evening and I said, I'm looking for a topic of discussion for tonight. And she had a great topic, asking, do loved ones on the other side bring people into our lives for purpose and reason? And the answer is yes, of course they do. There's a number of reasons why people show up in our lives at the most opportune times, and it's all based on divine timing. right? They bring people into our lives for a multitude of reasons. And some of those reasons I'm going to share with you tonight. Some of them I've had personal experience with, and some reasons you will figure out why this person showed up in your life. And sometimes it's going to take a while for you to understand or discern why somebody has stepped into your life and what the purpose is behind that. So, a couple of reasons why people just show up in your life. Either maybe you know them and they are somebody that, hasn't been around for a while. Maybe it's what they call a blast from the past. I had one of those just the other day. Maybe it's somebody that you don't even know, right? And they magically show up and they become an integral part of your life. And so, there's a lot of reasons for this. People, most of the time that show up for us, there's a lot of times they are mirrors of our own selves, right? They reflect back what we are in this lifetime, good, bad, indifferent, right? So they are a reflection of us, and they come into our lives to show us the good parts, the maybe not so good parts, the things that we hold dear and hold deep within us, things that maybe need to change. And so there's a number of reasons, why they're mirroring some of our traits, mirroring some of the things that we may not like. And that is to bring us into awareness so that we can say, oh, that's something that I do, and I think I need to change that, right? Or maybe it's something that you say, oh, I do that all the time. Wow, what a great trait. It just got brought back to me, and I can see how valuable that trait is, or what a wonderful trait that is, right? Sometimes we're needing healing and support in our lives, and spirit will bring in that person to help us and to support us in our time of need. And it's a great, it's a great piece. I've had this happen to me actually, where I've been in a place that I've needed great support, and here comes this person with perfect timing, right? So they're here to support us in whatever it is that we need. Sometimes we are in a soul contract or a karmic connection, right? It's about, cleaning house, and what is it that we are needing to complete in this lifetime? What is on our journey, our path, and things and people that we need to interact with, that we need to be in contact with in order to align with our soul's purpose, or to align with something from a past life that needs to be dealt with, right? There's many reasons why we come into this life with all these different things. So, there's also people are there for us for a catalyst for change, right? You may have had, for me, my ex came into my life, and I was thrown into a catalyst of change that brought me into what I'm doing now, right? So people can push us out of our comfort zones and make us realize there are some things that we need to do in our lives. And they're there to cheer us on, right? They're there to make a big difference in our lives. They're there to be the cheerleaders for us and support us. So there's also shared growth, right? You come into this life, and you come into this path, and you find someone that is on the same journey, and you share and you grow and you share inspiration and knowledge, right? And you inspire each other to be the best that you can be. And so that is, that one is a really great, is a really great piece where you can share everything that you have learned, and you can grow together in this journey. Some people come in to give us the inspiration and the guidance that we need, right? that maybe that little kick in the pants that we need in order to move on and move forward in our lives. And they are just the perfect catalyst for that, right? Some people come into our lives to be the best friend and the provider and the guidance that we need at the time. And you don't honestly know sometimes what that person might be doing for you. It might be later down the road, right? It could be a year, 2 years, 10 years, and you go, oh, I know now what that person was in my life for. I know the purpose. And so it doesn't always, you don't always need to know what the purpose is that these people have shown up in your life. Know that they have been put there for the utmost, highest, and best good for you, to have that connection, to know, to have that peace and that sense of being and the support that you may need at that time. And whatever it is, you need to trust that the divine are sending you these people in perfect timing for the perfect situation and the perfect time of your life. And know that it is all in your highest and best, and it's all perfectly orchestrated just for you. So, the next time that you you meet somebody, you might look at it and say, I wonder why this person has entered my life. Be in that awareness and see if it comes to you. And sometimes it might come really quickly. Oh, I know exactly why I met this person, right? Or I'm not really sure yet why I've met this person, but know that it's going to be revealed to you in time. All right. There's many other reasons that people come into our lives, but the show's not long enough for that. So that is just a few of the ones that have come to mind to help you in your journey to understand why we have people come into our lives. And why we have people come into our lives is because they would like to have a reading tonight. So we are going to head to the phone lines. We've got Sharon in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good evening, Sharon, and welcome to your time to shine. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm okay, hanging in.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I'm going through a little bit of a really bit of a bit of a hard time with my son, and I just want to know if it's going to get any better. If it's going to straighten out, I don't know. If it's going to do anything, and if I'm going to be okay getting through this.
Okay. All right. Sharon, let me take a moment here just to tune in on this question that you have. There's going to be a little moment of silence as I do that, and then I'll be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Sharon, I just keep hearing that your son is being very stubborn, and I keep hearing the word bullheaded. Just very strong in, I don't know if it's a belief system or what he believes. I'm just getting the feeling that he feels that he's right in a situation, and it's really not about being right. And he's taking a very hard stance. He's not being very flexible in the situation and what's going on. And it almost feels like, hold on one moment. Do you almost feel like you're being punished for something? Um,
Yeah.
something that, yeah, that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm being punished for something and I don't know why, right? Um,
I feel like I mean, he got married. I wasn't even at his wedding. Like, I feel like I hate to say it, but I feel like his wife is in his ear.
I think there's a big influence that she's got on him. Um, I keep hearing the word threatened. Like she feels very, so it feels like you and your son had a really good relationship prior to all of this. And it
Yeah, we
feels
did.
like this power struggle that she has with you. It's almost like she knows the relationship that you guys had and is a little envious of that. Um, which I always find quite odd because it's such a different
I know.
relationship to have, right, with a mother and a son, or a daughter and a father. It's definitely not the same type of a relationship that you would have with a mate or a partner. Um, but there's this sense of it's almost like she feels like in a situation, um, if he had to choose, he would choose you over her. And maybe not literally. It's just kind of like an example that they're bringing to me, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
No, I
asking them,
agree.
yeah, I'm asking them what we need to know about this situation. So hold on one moment. There's something in here about a pattern of growth for him. Um, I'm not sure what that is, but there's there's something with this situation, with his marriage, that is a big growing period for him. Um, it's like for him to be more flexible in his life and almost like
Mm-hmm.
standing on his own 2 feet, right? And standing and making a boundary, or drawing a line in the sand and saying, no, this is not what this is going to be anymore, right? Um,
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna come a day where he will do that. I just don't know how far down the road that's going to be. Um,
Am I going to be okay through this?
you are. What I'm
Okay.
being shown is, um, it's very hard for you right now. And as some time goes on, you're gonna be you will have that support and be able to look at it as, one of these days he's going to come back to me, and when he does, I either have open arms for him or I don't. But you're the type of person that's
Yeah.
going to have those open arms for him at all times, right? And I believe that he's going to come around. And it's almost like I keep hearing like
Am
belief
I going to meet my
systems.
grandson?
Is there a grandson on the way?
He was born January 6th. I have yet to meet him.
And you have yet to see him.
My husband and I.
She's holding on tight to this that she's really holding tight onto this one. Um, I do believe you will see him. It's very fuzzy to me exactly when that might be.
Yeah.
It's interesting because when I ask that question, I see her arms tightly wrapped around the child. It's not like a protection mode like you would expect to have with a mother. It's more of, it feels like a control thing more than anything. But I think that eventually your son is going to want to have the two of you in his life. And I see you being with your grandson. I see him like older, when he's making his own decisions and he wants to be a part of your life. I'm not saying that you won't see him before that. Okay. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm seeing is you having a relationship with him. So I do feel that down the
I
road.
have 2 other grandsons, and I get along great with them. But it's just I've never met Oliver, my oldest son's grandson, or my oldest son's son. I haven't met.
Yeah. I do believe that you are going to get that chance.
Okay.
You are.
Good.
And you are going to make.
Thank you so very much.
Make it through this. You're so welcome. Next, we have Brandy in Saratoga Springs, Utah. Good evening, Brandy, and welcome to your time to shine.
Hi, thank you, Julie.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
I just wanted to get some insight on my future, my grandkids, and just check to see how my kids are doing.
Okay. Brandy, let me check in and see let's see what Spirit has to say to you. While I'm doing this, there'll be a little moment of silence and then I'll be right back with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brandy, what I'm being shown is it's almost like when your kids leave the nest, it's like their wings span out and they're leaving the nest and they're flying and they're doing their own thing. And as a parent, you're kind of sitting back and looking and taking it all in and thinking, wow, magical journey, right?
Right.
So
They both passed.
Okay. Okay. Well, magical journey.
So they both passed, and I'm caring for my grandkids now. And I have one with special needs, and I worry about her. And I just adopted back in April.
You adopted your grandchild?
My grandkids, yeah, 5.
Yeah. So you have this amazing amount of support on the other side. It's like they're watching over you. They're literally, it's like what I'm being shown is like you're literally, every step you take, they're taking that step right next to you. They're giving you all the support that you need from the other side. They're putting things in your path so that you know the people to call, the things to do. It's like they're showing me, like they're giving you a roadmap. And they're bringing things into your awareness so that you have all the tools that you need to be successful in raising your grandchildren. So I guess my question is to you, have things just been falling into place for
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So there's that roadmap that they're placing in front of you, right? Where things are just like, you think, oh, well, there's the person I need to talk to, or there's that phone number that I needed to have, right? So know and trust that you're getting the guidance exactly in the way that you need it to be. And you're being supported and given everything that you need to be successful in this. I'm being shown like major amounts of love, like the love that you have and the passion that you have for your grandchildren, raising them right, being that person, that support link that they need is exactly who they need to have right now. That you are
Thank you.
absolutely the right person that they need in their life. There's not gonna, there's not every day is gonna be filled with flowers. There's gonna be, there's gonna be bumps in the road. There's gonna be, some hard days, but know that those days will be outweighed by the good days, by watching them grow, by advising them and letting them spread their wings and grow. That's what I'm being shown. It's like all these wings. You've got all these wings around you, whether it be from the other side or whether it be from your grandchildren that are spreading their wings, and you're allowing them to do that, right? It's about allowing them to be the people that they are and spreading their wings so that they can be the best that they can be in their lives. And you are that person to do that.
Thank you.
They're showing me that you have patience like no other. And you don't think that you do, but you do. You don't give yourself enough credit, and you're a little bit hard on yourself because you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have been that way. And know that you're human and that you have bad days too, and that's okay. Right.
Right.
And, talking to them as they grow up, and for them to know also that it really is okay to have a bad day. Just because you have a bad day doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? And giving them that love and that support that they need.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You really are the perfect person to raise them. I just keep getting that over and over. And so, that's the big message for you tonight, is to know that you
Well,
are the perfect
I think
person.
I spoke with you back in November, and you were telling me my daughter who had passed was handing me wildflowers. And ironically, we moved into a place called Wildflower.
Oh, that's
And I was
beautiful.
like, wow. Yeah, I took to heart every word you said, and I was like, wow. I worry about them on the other side, and I did go get a tattoo in memory of both of them. They had a convention, and my grandson says, "You don't seem like a tattoo person," but it was really healing for me.
Yes. Yes. You have all the support, and know that they are doing okay on the other side. And they're bringing you messages all the time. So it's about
I feel that.
I'm sorry?
I feel that they're sending me messages a lot. I'll be like, "Thank you," and say their name, and be so grateful.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's really about being in the awareness of the entire thing, and knowing what those messages are, because what the messages come through for you is going to be something completely different when it comes through for me, right? It can be the exact same two messages, but they're going to mean different things for us. And so it's like being in awareness and understanding what that message means to you.
Okay. Do you see us being okay, me and the grandbabies in the future here where we live?
I think you're in a really good space where you're at. It feels very warm and inviting, and loving. And so I think it's a great place for you to be.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I keep hearing the words over and over, wildflower. So, you're exactly where you need to be.
Perfect. Yeah, a lot is going on here and a lot of good things. And I just wanted to reach out because, I was thinking of them and, going through the healing process. And you guys do such a wonderful job. And everything that you said really resonates with me and means a lot to me.
Oh, you're so very
Julie.
welcome. You are so very welcome. Thank you for calling in, and I'm so glad we reconnected. That makes me feel so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Any messages for me at all from them?
They're just saying, keep moving ahead. Keep looking ahead. You have a bright outlook on life, and you're a very positive person. And just keep that up and instill that in the kids, and instill all that goodness for them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Brandy, thank you so much for calling in. I must say good night and best of luck, and so great to reconnect with you.
Thank you. And you have a good night as well, Julie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're so very welcome. Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. If you would like to book a reading with me, please reach out to me on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Have a great week, everybody.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host today, Lady D. I hope you've all had an amazing week. So this week, or last week, we had the new moon. That was in Leo. So the big things that are happening coming up this week, on the 22nd of August, we do have, and it's 22nd, 23rd, we do have Jupiter to be squaring so Venus squaring Jupiter. So this is going to, if there is a try, I would say it's a really good aspect, but squares when their planets work against each other. So with this aspect, it could be sort of not going relationships and maybe like financial like partnerships or something to do with like finances may not going as smoothly as you'd hope, because this is where we've got Venus, which rules love and it rules money, and Jupiter ruling luck. So it might not go, things may not go according to plan or as well as you had hoped they'd go. But they will probably smooth over more towards the end of the week. We've also got Mars in the same day, which is going to oppose Neptune. So with this, I feel like, look, they do say with Neptune that it's a fog or rose-colored glasses, but I also feel like it might put like a dimmer on your anger. So you might feel like you're not feeling as strong as you like confident as you once did, or it even could be about you're not getting as angry. Something that would make you usually angry, you're not going to be as angry that day with this transit, because I feel like Neptune can also be a dissolve. So I feel like with this, it's like taking it easy. And I don't even feel like that transit is a bad transit, because I just feel like you're not as angry, not as irritable. So that could even be a good positive aspect to have, especially if in a situation where you need to keep your calm or keep it cool. That would definitely help you with that. The big thing we have this week is the Mercury retrograde that is happening in Virgo, and that is happening on the 23rd of August. And that is going to be here until the middle of September, so the 15th of September. So with that, with the retrograde, because we're going to have so many planets in retrograde, we might feel a bit like energy, feeling a bit tired. But with that as well, it could even be because we got the new Virgo, and Virgo does rule the sixth house of health. As we're already in the shadow, so for me, I'm already getting hard to get my words out here. So there could be an aspect of you or issues coming up with past health issues, of coming them back up, or if you were looking at them or looking at how to get healthier. But anything sort of like from the past, we're going to be looking at retrogrades, we're looking at things from the past, and with the sixth house with Virgo, it can rule health. So it might be something you're looking back. It even could be looking back on a diet that you used to do that worked really well for you, or how you used to eat really well, or maybe that you used to exercise more. So you might be going back into those old routines as well. I feel like here, things going wrong with a lot of detail. Also with Virgo energy, we are looking at detail, we're looking at perfection. So with things that are not going completely right, looking at with a lot of detail in it, may not going the right way or going as smoothly, because it's the planet is going backwards. So therefore, things are not going to be working as smoothly. So you might also needing a time out. This could be a time where you need to rest, take it easy, where you're feeling like you really need to just have a break. You could be also worrying about things that you can't change, and overthinking things is going to come in a lot here. Miscommunication or saying the wrong things can come up as well with this with this also too. As how the whole week is going to be, I do feel like there's going to be an issue about, or not issue, but I think about collecting money or storing money or looking at saving money is going to be coming up this week. I feel like that could be confusing, not knowing which path to take, so not knowing where you're going to go. So that could be coming up this week as well. And trying to gather your thoughts, trying to get your thoughts together to even like say the correct things. Trying to start again is like trying to make over, or trying to start from fresh, trying to recreate new plans. Not wanting something to end, so you might be having a good thing, or maybe your contract's coming up with work and you're not wanting it to end, you're wanting it to go through. It's this thing about of a situation of not wanting something to end. We've also got here things may not making sense. So you might be finding out things are not making sense about certain situations, or things not fitting in too. Okay. So we've got a lot that's coming up this week. So let's look the caller we've got here today. We've got Marky he's in California in
Yeah.
America. So hi, how are you
Yes.
today?
I'm good. I have a lot going on, and I just have questions, and I need honesty.
Okay, what's your question?
Me and my husband, his family, I don't know if they're making excuses, but it's just they've told me he's mentally like a 7 or 8 year old. When I'm so tired. I have a daughter, she's 1, so I'm just drained all the time. And I constantly have to ask him, can you do this? Can you take out the trash? Can you? And sometimes he'll tell me a flat out no. And
So this is your
we're
husband?
we're gonna
So
fuck.
this
Yes,
is your
it's my
husband.
husband, but we're huh?
So it's your husband. This is your husband. 'Cause I just feel like there's a lot of confusion. I just feel confused. Not that I just feel like with your energy, I'm like you're confused about everything with him.
Yes, I'm very confused.
I just feel like his attention span he just doesn't have the attention span. Um, look, when his family is saying he's like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, I feel like that's kind of an excuse. I feel like he's sort of like hides behind things. Like he knows what you're saying, he can hear you. He's just hiding behind an excuse or hide behind. I feel like maybe hiding behind his mum, or there's a lady or a person that he's hiding behind, as as well with him. He's just um something about too good to be true. So I don't know when you met him, it was like you're too good to be true. As well. I don't feel like he's suffering from. I'm getting he's not got ADHD. I keep on getting he's not ADHD. So I don't know. That's attention deficit disorder. But
He does have ADHD.
oh, okay. Because I'm keep on getting that as a no, as a.
I have
But I
one question.
yeah.
Will I end up moving and leaving him? Because I've been thinking really heavily on that.
Well, we're in the Venus retrograde, so relationships are not going too good, and there's been a lot of breakups with this retrograde with Venus here. Something about I just feel like maybe when you met him it was too good to be true. That's what I kind of feel like, and I do, as I said, I feel like he makes excuses, and I feel like his family do make excuses. Are you going to
Yeah,
end?
that's
I feel like you're towards the end of your straw. I'm gonna say by the end of September, if things don't change, you're gonna like learn, like look at making a move. I just feel like with the kids, he gets along with them, but it's like he's one of them, so it doesn't really help the situation because he doesn't really know.
yeah.
Everything's leaving up to you. I can also see a dog. So I had a dog with me this morning. So I don't know. I feel like this dog has sort of passed over. Did you have a dog that was always like begging, but or a happy dog?
No, did you
And
say someone that passed over?
yes, but it's a dog. I have a dog with me.
No, my brother. I mean, I know people pass over and they could come in different spirits. So I don't know, but I never had no pet that passed over. A
That's
human
okay.
recently.
I mean, not that your brother was always sort of happy, like a happy person and begging. I just see this dog as being begging. Like, did you have like a family member that lost an animal?
I don't know, not that I know of, unless they never told me about it.
Okay, all right. I don't know where this dog is coming
Yes.
from.
Wait, did I? I'm trying to think. I don't know because my mom, her dog is sick right now.
Oh, is
I
that dog?
don't know
Was that when that
if
dog
he
was
died
healthy?
or
Okay, when the dog
huh?
was healthy, was it a happy dog?
Yeah.
Like this dog and always begging? Like it'd be like, okay, it could do tricks. This dog can do tricks.
He's what?
Can do tricks. This dog can do tricks. Like it can beg. It can like.
Oh no, not
Okay,
that
I
I
feel
know
like
of. He
this.
can't do tricks.
Oh, okay. I just feel like this dog is quite a smart dog, but this dog's coming in to say hi. Even if the dog is sick, if the dog is very, very sick, sometimes they'll come to me like they've passed over, even though they're still here. This dog just I feel like has a little love and just coming in to say hi.
Yeah.
As for your partner, I kind of feel like I said by the end of September, you're at the end of your straw and that you're going to make a tough decision. I do feel like you will be leaving him and starting like a new, fresh start. And it's like it may not be forever. It's like he just needs to grow up. If he grows up, I feel like you're open to coming back because the door is not completely closed. It is being left open. I feel like you're giving him a timeline until December to make changes or to make an effort. I do feel like he does need a bit of a shock to sort of re-engage, but also he needs to learn to be independent, which is hard because I feel like his family are going to keep doing things for him. So
Yeah, and
I just
I also have another question. I'm sorry for all the questions.
That's okay.
There's another guy that I kind of been talking to because I kind of just been going through a lot, and I don't know if he's serious about me or if I should make a move like later on if we're gonna make a move.
Look, I feel like he's definitely interested. He's engaged to spending time with you and getting to know who you are. He's also I feel like there's no rush, no rush. I'm hearing with him, no rush. I do feel like you are going to meet him. Like I feel like you are going to go on a date, or you will going to have some sort of romance with him. Because I feel like you're just wanting to test the waters and just to have fun again and have a little bit of romance as well. Whether he's the one, I'm not too sure for you. I feel like you've still got to recover and you're still going to have to sort things out with your husband, which I don't feel like it's going to be completely sorted out to the end of the year.
Yeah. I'm just
So that's
really
what
torn on getting a divorce or not because I have papers.
Well, I feel like I keep thinking by the end of the year, like this December. So you can separate and then get a divorce later on. You just do what you feel right. Like I can't tell you what I see. I can't tell you what to do. But I always say there's no wrong decisions in life because we've got a soul path, we've got destiny, we've got to fulfill. So you need to do what you feel. I just feel like the door's not completely closed on the husband because it's like even though you'll move out and leave, the door's still open for him to change. Which I feel like you're going to give him till the end of the year, and then make your mind up.
Okay. Well, is there any jobs coming up for me?
Quickly, is there a job coming up for her? Yeah, I'm going to say by October, November, there is something coming up for you. But you're very excited and happy about it. It's a fresh new start, and it's like you finally can get your teeth into something, sink your teeth into something. It's like you've been really wanting to get something new and sink your teeth into it. So I do feel like by October, November, more October is when you're going to get the contract and be able to sign it, and it's like a fresh new start for you.
Okay. All right. That helps.
Thank you. So thank you for tuning in, guys. If you want to contact me for a reading, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram and TikTok is Lady DS Psychic, and my Facebook is Lady D Psychic Parties too. Thank you, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. So bye for now.